Salutations!
I gave myself a massive headache over this game over the past week.
Yeah, Willow's been going on for like 20 minutes about how she has a theory on Archer and has not, in any capacity, actually explored this theory in any sort of real detail other than babbling for like 20 minutes. It's been great.
Yes, because I I don't want, like, you've told me that if I guess you'll confirm, but the reality is if I'm right, I'm actually really pissed about who Archer is. And so I don't want to know until I have more evidence to go on than a stupid, vague theory. Because no. Like, I'm just hoping Chekhov's gun is just a gun on the wall and not actually something they're going to use. Because no, if I'm right, I'm livid.
Well, anyway, Saber is here now. We have a Saber. Saber kicked Lancer out of the house. And Shiro is nursing his stab wound.
Now we still somehow have to get from injured Saber to Saber threatening Rin.
Ah, right, yes, we have not quite caught up with the end of the prologue yet, that's true.
Yeah.
Saber has not yet threatened Rin with a sword.
Except Saber's super injured right now, but it's also the same night that she threatens Rin, so there's also that to contend with.
She's like moderately injured right now. She got a little bit stabbed by Gable. It's fine.
Another day, another fun time in the prologue.
Technically, we're not in the prologue anymore.
We just haven't caught up.
We haven't caught up to the end of the prologue, but we are in the Fate route currently. So
I'm just saying, we're on what stream number at this point?
5.
And we still haven't caught up time-wise with the end of the prologue.
Now, to put that in perspective, though, right? We are 5 streams in, and we are on effectively day 6. Because we had 3 days in the prologue, and now 3 days so far in the actual game.
Right.
So, we're getting a little bit more than a day per stream.
Mm-hmm.
Which is not terrible. Time-wise. So, as a reminder, Saber was injured by dodging an attack that rewrites reality to ensure that it is undodgeable.
I mean, yes.
Or, to quote the ever-present meme from Grand Order related, Fate-related medias, if I can find it, because I do have it, like, available to me in case I need it.
Isn't it the you dodged
my undodgeable blow,
attack?
Saber? Yeah. Where's... I think that was from the anime, but... Alright, I want to see if fucking Google can work out what I was looking for from that. Probably not, because I got really mangled. It doesn't have the slightest clue.
Literally everyone in chat's just talking about that tendency in this game.
No, this entire fucking franchise. It's really the franchise. So you dodged my undodgeable blow, Saber.
I mean, she didn't technically completely dodge it. She still got hit.
Yeah, but she's not dead, which...
Also, people saying power levels mean nothing here.
Yeah, it's kind of Dragon Ball. Like, power levels are a lie. As it turns out, the fundamental laws of reality don't matter if you're just lucky. Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, so I apologize in advance if I accidentally skip sound effects you guys want to listen to. I couldn't find my headset.
Oh, yeah,
So...
right. Thank you for reminding me. Let me go grab a second pair from somewhere. Just entertain chat.
Okay, I can entertain chat by ranting about my theory without actually specifying anything. So, I spent a ridiculous amount of time over the weekend, like, over analyzing everything I know about this series. Essentially because I was trying to figure out how anyone's supposed to guess Lancer's identity based off his attire. And I never would have gotten there. That is for absolute sure. So, because I am fundamentally a visual thinker, I was like, am I even going to be able to get anybody based off? Because, like, I spent a lot of time thinking about, like, Archer's color palette and, like, the fact that at least they made Artoria, like, white knighty. But I just... From what Inu was saying, no, I can't really reliably utilize color schemes or, you know, attire for most of the servants for trying to adequately guess who the fuck anyone is. So, you know, that goes one of my, there goes one of my favorite ways of doing it, and that thankfully gives some fuel to the fire of Archer not being who I think Archer is. Because that was at least partially based in color theory, but, you know. What Lancer's attire is that it's the skin-tight spandex because the warriors of the culture he's from actually fought naked with body paints, and you kind of can't just have him be naked. Nope. We're not going into who I think Archer is, because I want to be wrong. Anyway.
Seeing a girl wounded in a fight made me absolutely furious. Oh, right. Yeah, so, fair warning. The fate route, to some extent, is sort of Shiro being ridiculously overprotective of a person who's supposed to be protecting him! Like, yes, she's the big, strong person with the sword, Shiro! Maybe let her do her job, Shiro! Stop trying to tell her to stay in the damn kitchen, Shiro! As I stand there gawking, the girl remains silent, her hand clamped over her chest. This route is generally called Fate Stay in the Kitchen for a reason, yeah.
Oh, don't tell me that! I'm just gonna end up really mad!
I managed to quit staring pretty quickly.
So Feminist Willow's not gonna be happy this route, is my understanding.
This is the route of Shiro is trying to be, like, you know, chivalrous, but is kind of just a dumbass. She lifts her head and lets her hand fall from her chest, her pain seeming to have eased. Also, you have to remember, Shiro is the primary, like, cooking man of the house, so... If anything, he's in the kitchen, yeah. She looks directly at me. Then again, he's trying to tell Saber to stay in the kitchen. Likewise, she's trying to tell him to stay in the kitchen. Everybody just wants everybody else to stay in the kitchen and not fight a war. It's great. I don't know quite how to respond to that gaze, but then I noticed something. She's not vigorously bleeding everywhere anymore. That's convenient. The spear missed her heart, but it did pierce her chest, yet there's no outward sign of a wound. I've heard there's a kind of healing magecraft, but she didn't seem to use anything like that. That must mean she can heal herself, no matter how wounded she is.
She has fast healing, got it.
My mind switches gears. I shouldn't be gawking at her. This girl is unbelievable, and I absolutely should not let my guard around her until I know who she is and what what the hell's going on. Yeah. I take half a step back as I ask the question.
何者も何もセーバーのサーバントです。あなたが私を呼び出したのですから確認をするまでもないでしょう。
Here's the thing, I sort of called you here by accident. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, Reen had to do a whole giant summoning ritual, and then she still had her servant crash through her ceiling.
Look, I'm just saying, Shiro did have a magic circle inscribed on the floor of the...
That he wasn't in! That.
But there was a magic circle there, so it's not like there wasn't a magic circle. He had one too.
He was also kind of really, really fucking badly injured because he keeps trying to fight with Lancer himself.
Something you're gonna realize over the course of the entirety of Fate Stay Night is Shiro really likes trying to 1v1 servants. It's a very bad idea, but he really likes trying it.
セイバーのサーバント。
はい。ですから私のことはセーバーと。
She says it so casually. There's a touch of contempt in her tone, but it remains mostly gentle, and hearing her voice makes my head go blank.
That honestly just might be the damage to your body and nervous system.
Or it could be the brain damage. Or the brain damage. Why the hell am I getting agitated?
そうか。変な名前だな。
I cover my burning face with a hand and respond stupidly, but I honestly don't know what else to say. Besides, how else would she respond when I just ask her what the hell she is? And it'd be rude for me not to respond.
I'm doing okay. To answer the how's everyone doing.
Rin didn't need to do a giant, overly complex summoning ritual as the thing. She just really overblew that entire thing because she thought she'd get a better servant by being as extra as possible.
俺はシロ。エミやシロって言ってこの家の人間だ。
You have to remember, Rin was trying to force Saber. It didn't work, but she was trying to force Saber.
I mean, as fair as that
Without
is,
a catalyst.
as fair as that is, I still think that's kind of ridiculously conceited in that she knew she was the second last one to summon. So everyone else had a better chance, statistically, a better chance of getting Saber than she did.
Unless they all had catalysts
something
and were
else.
pulling for something, or pulling for a specific servant. Because not every servant qualifies to be a Saber. Like, Robin Hood would not make a good Saber. Fucking Merlin would not make a good Saber. There's something wrong with me. I'm saying the dumbest things, yes, because
you're an idiot.
I'm Shiro Emiya. This is my house. I live in my house. Welcome to my house. The shed we were in is not my house. That's my shed.
Although I tend to sleep there more.
Sometimes I
often
sleep
than
in the shed, so it's kind of like a house. But, well, she did give me her name. It's only polite that I give mine.
not. Technically, she didn't give you her name.
Oh, she said her name is Saber. Oh, a lot of actual Sabers also aren't very good at being Sabers. Yeah, true story. I know I'm confused, but it's still important to me remain rational, no matter who I'm dealing with. The girl, Saber, just keeps watching me in my confusion. She moves not an inch.
いや違う。今のはなしだ。聞きたいのはそういうことでなくて、つまりだな。
分かっています。あなたは正規のマスターではないのですね。
Oh, good. I'm glad we don't have to establish that I'm shit at Magecraft.
ね。
しかし、それでもあなたは私のマスターです。契約を交わした以上、あなたを裏切りはしない。そのように警戒する必要はありません。
Ah, crap. I hear her, but I couldn't be more lost. The only thing standing out to me is that she keeps referring to me as Master.
それは違う。俺マスターなんて名前じゃないぞ。
No, that's your title.
ええ、私としてはこの発音の方が好ましい。
Wow, jumping straight to first name basis, huh, Saber? The moment she said my name, I thought my face might actually burst into flames. Isn't it a bit more normal to call someone by their last name when you first meet?
Not if you're American.
Shiro, hot blonde foreigner. What makes you think she's gonna obey Japanese rules, my
Yeah,
dude?
I was about to say also technically she's King Arthur, which means she's British and no, well, that general part of the world, at any rate.
Eastern or Western European.
So, you know, the likelihood of her just walking around and going, hey, and then last name, no, that's not really, well, actually, depending on the period of history, it actually wouldn't be that surprising for someone in that part of the world to refer to people they weren't overly familiar with by their last names.
Also, don't worry, I won't betray you is the worst way to try to use someone's fear so they won't be guarded. Yeah, don't worry, I absolutely will not stab you in the back under any circumstance.
ちょっと待て。なんだってそっちの方。
To be fair, Saber's one of those things that, like, even if you haven't had it spoiled, it's gonna be your first guess. You're gonna look at it and go, okay, famous sword wielder from history.
Who's going very hard out of their way to hide their weapon.
They're trying really hard to make sure you don't know what their weapon looks like. Like, obviously, it's going to be King Arthur. Like, this is not a question. That was literally my first reaction to Saber was King Arthur, and the only reason that I ever thought anything else was because Baz outright lied to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is even from the still of her over Reen from the prologue, the fact that, you know, they make such a big deal out of, you know, showing Lancer's weapon early on, the fact that, you know, the discussion was made that you can hide your actual main weapon in the interest of, you know, protecting your identity, but you'd only do that if your weapon was, like, super identifying. Like, there's only one sword in mythology that I would think everyone would be able to recognize.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, Joan of Arc was my fallback when Baz effectively, you know, intentionally
yeah, I was about
misled.
to say, Joan of Arc probably would be my fallback just based on attire.
Because my immediate question was like, is there a gender bend going on here? And Baz's response was, Saber is the same gender now that she was in life. Which is technically true, but misleading in the form of an answer to the question. And at that point I'm like, well, I mean, the only other option is Joan of Arc, right? Like... Yeah, that's just gender-bent King Arthur, isn't it? No, it's not gender-bent King Arthur. Servants are always summoned the way they were when they were alive. Yeah, that was the exact conversation. That right there. Thank you, Bio. The strange sensation tingles through my left hand.
Oh, summoners, command mark things.
Yeah, but the male King Arthur is a different universe. Like, that's a different timeline, different continuity. Back of my hand is burning. Oh, look. Shiro's got fancy
Do the marks
tattoos.
ever end up anywhere other than the hand?
Yes. Yes. I didn't have a chance to read that.
Oh, nope.
No, what the hell did you press?
I pressed the up button.
I think it's Y, yeah. Or X, the top one. Yes, the back of my hand is burning. A strange pattern appears on the back of my left hand, like a tattoo.
No, you definitely read that.
I don't think I did. I got through strange sensations tingles through my left hand, but like, I don't think I got to the tattoo thing.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Somebody said one guy in extra has a tramp stamp.
That's true. By the way,
私たちサーバントを律する3つの命令権でありマスターとしての命でもある
by the way, please note the difference between Saber and Archer. Where Saber's like, here, let me explain to you how everything works, and Archer's is like, you're a fucking dumbass.
Ironic if I'm right.
しろ。傷の治療を。
It'd certainly make life a lot easier for a lot of masters if the back of the hand wasn't the most common spawn point for their command seals. Yeah, it mostly is the back of the hand, but like it can be other places, right? Oh, also, Saber over here. Could you, by the way, could you heal me? I was stabbed. Her tone is cold now. Seems she's not focused on me, but something elsewhere.
待て、まさか俺に言ってるのか。悪いけど、そんな難しい魔術は知らないし、それにもう治ってるじゃないか、それ。
Saber frowns. I feel like I've said something that disappoints her.
ではこのままで臨みます。自動修復は顔面を覆っただけですが、あと一度の戦闘ならば支障はないでしょう。
あと一度って何を？
外の敵は2人。この程度の重圧なら数秒で倒しうる相手です。
Because they're arguing with each other, like they always are.
As they always do. Also, yeah, Zed, she does have a guess, but she's refusing to vocalize it, so.
Because I damn well better be wrong.
Saber leaps over the wall effortlessly. Just like Lancer, she makes it look easy. And now I'm just alone in the yard.
外に敵？
Man, you just suck at this stuff, don't you? Sure do, yeah. I don't even have any idea what's going on. Yeah, figured as much. Now heal me. What part of I suck at this stuff didn't you get?
Zed, do you really want me to vocalize my guess?
The question is, do you really want to do that? And do you want to phrase it as, like, because if you say outright, like if you outright ask me, is that, is Archer insert person here? I will answer that question. Now, if you just phrase it as, I guess, I'm not going to confirm for you. If you outright tell me, I think it's this person, I will confirm it. So if you want to get it off your chest, be careful about how you phrase it.
Chat does, well, I should say chat, not named bio, do want me to voice my guess. So I'm prefacing this with, this is from a week of me overanalyzing literally everything.
Also, reminder for chat, right? We all know the answer. But if she's not outright stating it, no spoilers.
So the only thing so far that's made any sort of logical sense, and I'm basing it purely off the logic that one of the summons that we see in game has to use a relic.
Catalyst,
whatever. It doesn't make sense, but the only thing my brain is coming up with is that it's somehow Shiro?
So what's the catalyst in that case?
The necklace.
Do you mean the one that Rin has?
Right, but see, this is the bit where I spent most of the week with a headache because of this, and I'm deliberately not looking at chat, so I'm literally flipping my phone upside down so I can't see it. But so here's why I'm confused.
Uh-huh.
Because I figured one of the summonings had to have used a catalyst that we actually see, right? And there's no logical universe. So I'm now rehashing my argument with Inu, just having actually voiced my thing. There's no logical way in which Shiro actually summoned King Arthur with a catalyst of a piece of fucking paper. No, that cannot possibly be right. So I started thinking about like what we knew about Archer's summoning. And my brain went, well, the only obvious object Reen had for that was a little pendant thing from her dad. But that wouldn't entirely make sense, because again my brain was thinking about like color palettes, and his color, like Archer's color palette emulates Rin's color palette, but his hairstyle's not that dissimilar from Shiro's, and then I was thinking about the fact that, like, if her necklace was a catalyst, the only way that would make sense was if they were using logic of he's somehow future Shiro, but that just gives me a bigger headache.
So here's my question: where is Rin's pendant right now?
I don't know.
Like, as of the time that we are sitting here, like, at this point of the night on day 3, where is that pendant?
So I think Shiro has it.
Okay. And why is that?
Because I don't think it ever explicitly said that she picked it back up.
You're right. She didn't. But at the end of the prologue, before they left to come over here, Archer gave it back to her. When they were in her living room, Archer handed her pendant back to her.
I have a headache again. But then I also, like, the downside of having a full week off between streams is I can overanalyze shit, because I was also thinking about the fact that, like, they go out of their way to state he used to be the best member of the school's archery club.
That's true. Shiro was like their ace shooter before he quit a year and a half ago.
So him being an archer, if I was right, would kind of make sense. But also, it would then explain the fact that he's choosing to fight with not a bow under normal circumstances. And it would also explain how he did so, like, surprisingly well against Lancer, when Shiro was kind of able to hold his own against Lancer with literally a fucking rolled up piece of paper.
I mean, he did get stabbed.
Well, yeah, sure. I don't know. Like, it's genuinely just my brain attempting to make sense of, and again, knowing fantasy tropes, but I just, like, the more I think about it, the more it really fucking infuriates me. Because there, because you've said, I don't think on stream, but you've said that they make this whole thing about, like, there really aren't heroes post-industrial revolution.
Yeah, so
which Shiro definitely doesn't apply.
What Stay Night
For,
tells us
but-
is that heroic spirits have not been registered to the Throne of Heroes since approximately the beginning of the Industrial Revolution.
Right. So, again, logistically, like, it's kind of a nightmare. And I have a very sinking suspicion based off the fact you've read none of chat aloud since I started ranting, that I'm either right or I'm super massively wrong.
I mean, Chad is talking about wanting popcorn and Calamity Jane, who's in Grand Order and is an archer but shoots things with a gun. So, the contents of chat are not, like, helpful to your discussion here
Okay.
at all.
Who the hell wants popcorn to listen to me rant? Whoever they are is just... I'm sorry, but that's just mean. It's Bio, isn't it?
No. Bio's been very silent since mentioning that don't feel pressured. So, as Chad points out, they're respectfully letting you cook.
Anyway, mentally that's where I'm at. But... And if I'm right, I'm mad about the everything.
If you're right, you're gonna need some explaining later, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, because there's some fuckery going on here.
As I've said, Archer is complicated. Archer's summoning is complicated. Basically, everything about Archer is complicated, including the fact that he doesn't know who the fuck he is. Like, that's not helping him at all.
What I can't explain to myself is the gray hair. If I'm right, the gray hair doesn't make sense to me. Or the fact that, as near I can tell, they have different voice actors.
They do have different voice actors. You are 100% correct about that. Yes, they are voiced by different people.
Which has been my one solace in the past 7 days, as I've been stewing over analyzing. Because I'm like, I'm fairly certain they have different voices, but they have so many facial similarities, which could just be the art style, because I haven't seen a ton of male characters.
Something you need to understand about Takeuchi, the guy who's the primary artist for Type Moon, is there's a long-running joke that Takeuchi has 5 faces, and he uses them for everybody. So everybody has the same face as everybody else.
Oh,
basically.
so it's like Rumiko Takahashi, where all her female protagonists are Kagome.
Kagome, yeah. Or more accurately, Lum. Or that Yurusei Yatsura girl. Or, no, sorry, Maisoni Koku. Anyway.
So what I'm hearing is that, again, my usual strategy of figuring out who's who, going by aesthetics and clothing and face, not gonna work super well here.
I mean, you can always tell when somebody is meant to look like Artoria, because they will always look like there's a whole joke of Saber faces, because everybody looks like Saber, except Saber also looks like, well, Hisui from Tsukihime. So Saber is really a Hisui face, because Tsukihime came first.
Okay.
And anyway, I realize what she means as soon as I say it.
ちょっと待て、まだ戦うっていうのか、お前。
There's enemies outside your house. Of course she's gonna keep fighting, dumbass. I move without thinking. Saber face is an in-universe term for a reason. Yeah, true story. Saber also looks like Joan of Arc. Yeah, well, Joan of Arc is a saber face. That's why. I run as fast as I can towards the gate. Okay, we're now outside of the house. On the street. I reach the gate, unlock it with trembling fingers, and jump out. Ha!
どこだ
She jumps out like, ha ha!
I wish you guys could see what Inu just did. It was basically a pantomime of all of the worst, like, trench coat flashers in, like, old TV movies.
It's great, yeah.
Mhm.
I strain to see in the darkness, for I am but human. Clouds have completely obscured the moon, leaving it pitch dark. Now of all time. Doesn't look pitch dark to me, man. But I hear something nearby.
そうか。
She also looks like Soji Okita for no actual reason. That's true. But Okita's the best saber, so it's fine. I run to an empty pathway. It happens all in an instant. I see a familiar man in red and saber fighting. Saber rushes him and breaks through his guard in a single sweep as Archer gets absolutely bodied by an injured Saber. She easily cuts the man in red. Saber raises her arm, ready to... But before she's able to take his head, incredibly powerful magecraft causes him to vanish. Saber doesn't stop. She dashes right at the person standing behind the man in red, and effortlessly negates the potent magecraft they unleashed.
I swear I hadn't pressed any button.
No, it was displaying an animation, so I'll cut the text out for a second. I knew she was strong, but this is just unreal. That was a sort of intervention magecraft, way beyond anything I'm capable of. My old man might have been able to cast something with a bit of weight to it, but I'm not sure even a first-rate mage could just cast something so powerful at the drop of a hat like that. Even so, Saber nullifies the magecraft as if it were nothing. Gotta love that magic resistance. The enemy must be a mage, which means this match's outcome is decided. The mage's attack doesn't work on Saber, and Saber drives at them mercilessly. Meow. She's got a segue from somewhere. It's like... The mage falls backward with a thud. The enemy miraculously dodges Saber's attack, but they can't move anymore. Saber corners the enemy and levels her invisible sword at them.
Which objectively must look kind of ridiculous to an outsider. Like you're just holding a thing.
Halt, or I'll stab you with my invisible sword. It's like in the 4Kids Dub of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they took all the guns out in Duelist Kingdom, and you just had like those guys accosting Seto Kaiba with his briefcase of cards going like this. Like, stop or we'll shoot you with our invisible guns!
Oh, poor kid.
Like, they didn't edit the pose, they just edited the gun out, so the dudes are just standing there, pointing an invisible gun at them. Saber riding a lion car, yeah. My mind freezes. Maybe it's a momentary glimmer of moonlight, but I see then that Saber is attacking a human. I can't tell who it is specifically, but the image of Saber killing someone, their blood staining her hands, suddenly fills my mind. I know it's a war, but like...
Does
what?
he? Because honestly,
no,
he
has
seems
no
like kind
idea
of a
what the
fucking moron.
he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Saber moves in. She's going to slit open their throat with that invisible sword.
Yamero! Saber!
I scream as loud as I can because I assume she's deaf.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is he also going to blow all of his command spells like a fucking moron?
The thing about Shiro Emiya is he doesn't understand the value of a command spell, much like Reen.
No, Reen understands the value of them. She just uses them all the time by accident. She at least knows they're important. And to be fair, I fully support the fact that she intentionally used her first one to be fucking petty. I support that. That is very high school girl of her. So I'm right that he's gonna just blow all of his on stupid shit too?
He does use them kind of in dumb ways, yes, frequently. Her blade stops cold. It's probably best for my sanity that I can't see her sword. But the tip of that invisible sword isn't wet with her opponent's blood just yet.
Oh, while my brain's thinking about it, for anyone else that wants to see me get really upset at video games this week, I did take this Thursday, Halloween, off to literally spend the entire day until trick-or-treaters start coming to my house playing Dragon Age Valguard on my channel. So if you want to see me get really angry at all the things in the lore that BioWare changes, inevitably, that could be a lot of fun for people. But, like, I don't usually plug myself or my own channel, but...
やめろ頼むからやめてくれセイバー
I glare at her as I speak. If I'm gonna stop her, I need to prepare myself to give everything I've got to do so. See,
I'm reading Bio's
the
comment.
difference is Reen knows what a command seal is and how super important they are, and yet wasted one anyways, whereas Shiro has no idea what they are or how to use them.
Seeing someone losing all faith could be quite charming.
なぜ止めるのです、シロ。彼女はアーチャーのマスターです。ここで仕留めておかなければ。
No, Saber has absolutely no intention of stopping. She only stopped because I told her to, but she still holds her sword at the ready. Probably. We can't actually verify this because it's invisible.
だから待てって。人のことをマスターだとか言ってるけど、こっちは点でわからないんだ。俺をそんな風に呼ぶんなら、少しは説明するのが筋ってもんだろう。
Yes, after I kill this girl.
Yeah, just let me kill this girl you've been, like, super hard crushing on for a while. Of course, he doesn't seem to have noticed who it is yet, so...
No, he's been too busy being distracted by hot blonde foreigner trying to stab a bitch. Saber doesn't answer. She just stands there, staring at me, menacingly.
違うだろう、セイバー。俺はまだお前が何なのか知らない。けど話してくれるなら聞くから。そんなことはやめてくれ。
I told you, I'm a saber, I'm a servant, you're my master, this is your house, you live here. We've been over the basics. Saber is silent. She still holds her sword to her opponent and stares at me, her lips downturned in dissatisfaction. Yeah, Artoria did go through some shit in Arthurian legend, so, like, her attitude of vaporize first, ask questions later, or more accurately, never, is kind of justified. I mean, just think about the whole Mordred situation.
Yeah, well...
そんなこととはどのようなことか。
I don't understand. What do you mean, don't kill this girl?
あなたはむやみに人を傷つけるな。などという理想論を挙げるのですか。
In the immortal words of Sojiro, Aoko, murder is wrong. Thank you, Sojiro. Don't needlessly harm another? Well, yeah, it's better to avoid conflict as much as possible, but I'm not so soft-hearted as to feel sorry for someone who's attacking me.
つまりあなたは敵であれ命を絶つなと言いたいのでしょう。そのような言葉には従いません。敵は倒すものです。それでもやめろというのであれば、令状を持って私を律しなさい。
I'm saying she's not an enemy right now because she's not currently attacking us. She's just sitting there on her very adorable ass. Like... Wait, Rin? It's like he suddenly just gets distracted.
Wait,
Yes.
but... Shiro didn't encounter Archer at all on his way home after being stabbed.
That's correct.
And Archer, or rather, Shiro was fairly aware of his surroundings when he was bleeding out and getting stabbed a bunch.
He was weirdly lucid, yes.
So... How exactly did Archer get the pendant necklace thingamadoohickey?
Well, I mean, we know Archer can turn invisible.
I'm sorry, but with how ridiculously lucid Shiro is while dying...
I still don't think the man is able to see the invisible.
No, but given that he's stupid lucid, I find it highly unlikely he'd get pickpocketed and not notice.
I don't know. Servants are superhuman.
Anyway, sorry, got distracted.
そんなことっていうのはお前のことだ。
Because I was reading none of that earlier because my brain was braining.
怪我をしてるならなおさらだろう。っ そっか。本当に剣を持ってるかどうかはわからないんだっけ。いや、とにかくそういうのはダメだ。
Hey, you're a girl. Stop swinging a sword around, if it's even a sword in the first place.
Artoria, stab him,
She can
please.
vaporize you in like a quarter of a second, Shiro. Like, you don't fuck with her. Tiger Mom will beat your ass. She's just like, what? In that moment, Saber's mouth falls open in stunned silence. I don't know how much time passes with her just standing there like that.
で、いつになったら剣を下げてくれるのかしらね、セイバーさんは。
Rin, stay out of this. We're having a conversation. The person who'd fallen to the ground speaks up out of nowhere. Saber instinctively
諦めなさい。
grips her sword, I
敵を
think.
前にして下げる剣はありません。あなたのマスターは下げろって言ってるのに。セイバーともあろうサーバントが主に逆らうって言うんだ。
Bullshit! Archer doesn't listen to you
Oh,
or the
really,
damn.
miss? I command you to listen to every word I say with a command seal. Saber grits her teeth. But she lowers her sword, loosening her grip a bit. She must have put her sword away or something, because she seems suddenly much less hostile.
さ、なら立ってもいいのよね、私。
Whoever it was that's been on the ground finally stands. How do you not recognize her voice? They act brazen as they pat the dirt from their shapely and gorgeous bottom. Wait a minute. Wait, that's...
お前遠さか。
ええ。こんばんは、エミヤくん。
right over here playing like she's, you know, not surprised that Shiro has a servant. Kid, I've met a lot of stupid people in my time and heard an equally stupid amount of shit come out of their mouths, but what you just said may well be the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh yeah, also Rin's defenseless bottom. Very true, yes. Although that line doesn't exist in this version of the game, so... Rin Tosaka replies with the biggest smile on her face. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to think anymore. The way she greets me so casually makes me question whether everything that happened was even real.
いや、だからさっきの魔術は遠坂が使ったってことだから、つまり
魔術師ってことでしょ。ま、お互い似たようなもんだし、隠す必要もないわよね。
Hearing her be so blunt about it makes me seem like the idiot here.
Because you are.
いいから話は中でしましょう。どうせ何も分かってないんでしょ、エミヤくんは。
Anyway, I'm gonna invite myself into your house, if you don't mind.
I mean, it seems a common theme that women invite themselves into his house.
Yeah, you're not wrong. As she says that, she walks towards the entrance to my house.
待て遠坂、何考えてんだお前。
I'm thinking I'm the reason you're alive, so you better shut the fuck up, bitch.
Well, I mean, at this point, he's also the reason she's alive, so... You know. Kinda even. At that moment, when Tosaka turns around, her smile has changed into something completely different. Jazz hands! She's just like...
バカね、いろいろ考えてるわよ。だから話をしようって言ってるんじゃない。エミヤくん、突然の事態に驚くのもいいけど、素直に認めないと命取りって時もあるのよ。ちなみに今がその時だと分かって。
She glares at me, and I can see actual animosity in her eyes.
分かればよろしい。それじゃあ行こっか。エミヤくんのお家にね。
Anyway, hurry up and invite me into your house. Tosaka walks through the gate.
なんかすげえ怒ってるぞ、あいつ。
I like to think it's not because we know he opened it earlier and they never said he closed it, but I like to think she just like walks physically through the space through the matter of the gate, just like.
No, I think it's much more entertaining to picture her like almost like druid crafting or stone crafting away the wood bending the gate so that it just like creates a hole for her to walk through and then just closes it behind her. Like I like to picture it being a power move if I'm a better mage than you.
I mean, all she has to do is say literally anything magic related, and she's already proven that. Well, I don't blame her. Just a moment ago, she had a sword pointed at her, and then she was about to die.
いや、それにしたって。
Maybe it's my imagination, but I think the Tosaka at school and the one I see right now are completely different people.
Or the Tosaka you see at school's just a very strong public front. You ever think about that?
No, that doesn't seem realistic. And this is just weird as hell.
We're in my storage room / hallway for some. Why are there so many dressers in his hallway?
I don't know why he has all these dressers in his front hallway. It's very weird. Green Tosaka, the most popular girl in school, the girl I admire, is walking in front of me.
I would just point out, like, literally neither one of us have, like, the fanciest houses in the world, but neither one of us lines our front hall.
I don't have a front hall.
Neither
do you.
Neither do I, really.
We don't even have front halls. We couldn't possibly do this if we wanted to.
But why would we?
It's probably where Shiro keeps most of the random shit Taiga leaves in his house.
Does anyone we know have a front hall? Like, our parents don't.
Our aunt did, when she still had a house.
I'd argue, though, that, well, like, I guess alongside where the dining room was.
She
There
had,
was
like,
that hallway into the living room.
she had, like, a random table in there.
Yes, one random table. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 cabinets. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I pressed the button that made the text go away.
While a blonde girl named Saber, who calls herself a servant, is silently following behind me. So what you're saying is you're in a, like a
Hot girl sandwich.
hot girl sandwich of the black girl and the white girl, basically. Green with her, like, black hair and Saber over here being all blonde and shit. Wow, their color schemes really are opposite, aren't they? Black hair, red colors for Reen. You know, fucking blonde hair, blue colors for Saber.
Yeah. Blue and white, no less.
Yeah,
Where Reen's attire is black and red.
black and red, yeah. The hallway feels like it's in a different dimension. And then you've got Sakura, who just has purple hair and I don't think is really in the route anymore. I think she's gone now. She might show up, like, one more time.
I mean, I would point out to friends in chat saying that our mention of sandwiches are making them hungry. You were literally saying earlier you were gonna go get popcorn to listen to me rant. So it sounds like your own fault. You're hungry.
I could do with a sandwich right now.
You
But,
don't have bread. You don't.
I
buy
do
it.
actually have bread, thank you. But I can't stay a coward forever. I may still be in training, but I'm still a mage!
Real shit one though.
Tosaka, who's apparently a fellow mage, is as bold as brass. So I have to hold my ground too, or else I'll look stupid. Hi, I'm Shiro Emiya. I can make paper into lead pipes.
And literally nothing else.
Though I can't really think of anything all that significant here. Like, Saber still following me. She keeps calling me master, and we've formed some sort of contract, which probably makes her a kind of familiar. I've heard of familiars an assistant mages use. Most mages transfer a part of their own body into something else, then use it as their double. But typically they're small animals, like some kind of Welsh robin. Things like cats and dogs are just easier to control.
Says no one who's ever owned either animal.
I find it pretty easy to control my cat.
I mean, my cat's not.
I found it quite easy to control your cat earlier today.
She was not happy with you.
Doesn't change the fact that she's easy to control.
Actually, my dog's really easy to bully.
Some mages do use humans, but to do that, they need an incredible amount of magical energy to constantly feed into the human to control them. Doing that would require a mage to use over half of their own magical energy just to sustain the familiar, though. So it should be super easy for you, because you have, like, no magical energy, right? So it's not exactly efficient. Familiars are supposed to be tools to help mages. Which is why they usually use small animals who can be controlled with minimal effort, so aren't any burden. At least that's what I was taught.
何かあるのですか、シオ。
Oh, Cockney, sorry. Good catch, Zed.
ああ、いや、なんでもない。
Saber obviously looks human, and she's clearly superior to her master, that is, me. I don't have enough magical energy to restrain someone, let alone the magic circuits to control familiars in the first place. Which means Saber is nothing like a familiar. She's kind of like a familiar. She called herself a servant, capital S. I don't know what she is, but the man named Lancer and the man in red Tosaka has in tow are probably all the same. Which means Tosaka can also be called a master. I've already seen enough of her magecraft skills. I'm less than a fledgling, but based on what I've seen, Tosaka's probably worth 3 mages. Though there's really not much sense comparing any mage to someone like me, who can only do strengthening. What's clear is that Rin Tosaka is an exceptional mage. In spiritually strong lands, there are mage family lines which oversee a given area. The Emiya family came during Kiritsugu's generation, so our family's essentially outsiders. That's why I didn't know Tosaka came from a family of mages, and I don't think Tosaka knew I came from one either. There are several mages in this town I don't know about. If that Lancer guy is another mage's familiar too, that means I've gotten myself in the middle of some sort of fight between mages.
A battle of some sort. But if there's more than one battle, that would make it some sort of war feud.
This is not a room, Rin, this is a hallway. The Japanese style of this room is unique. Rin, this is called a hallway. You have them in your Western style house too, Rin. I should really just stop thinking for now. Now's the time to pay attention to what Tosaka has to say. I turn on the lights.
Of a completely different room.
Well, yes, we went into the like, parlor, the dining room, the main living room or whatever. It's already past 1 in the morning. Green took her coat off and then complained about being cold. Put your coat back on if you're gonna be cold. The windows are all broken. Yeah, thank Lancer for that.
仕方ないだろう。ランサーってやつに襲われたんだ。なりふり構ってられなかったんだよ。
ああ、そういうこと。 じゃあセイバーを呼び出すまで一人であいつとやり合ってたの？
やり合ってなんかない。ただ一方的にやられただけだ。
ふーん、変な見え張らないんだ。そっかそっか、ほんと見た目通りなんだ、エミヤくんって。
And idiot.
Yep. I don't know what's so amusing to her, but Tosaka walks over to the broken window. Tosaka picks up a broken piece of glass. She stares at it for a second. Then she eats it. She cuts her fingertip and lets a single drop of blood fall onto the window.
Is she literally just about to Oculus Reparo his windows?
She is about to Oculus Reparo his windows, yes. She's just doing a Hermione. What kind of magecraft is that? The shattered window begins to reassemble itself, returning to its original undamaged state in mere seconds.
遠坂、今の。
I fixed your window. That'll be $600.
ちょっとしたデモンストレーションよ。助けてもらったお礼にはならないけど、一応筋は通しておかないとね。
And show you that I'm better at magic than you.
Correct.
もう私がやらなくともそっちで直したんだろうけど、こんなの魔力の無駄遣いでしょ。本当なら窓ガラスなんて取り替えれば済むけど、こんな寒い中で話すのもなんだし。
Honestly, doing it that way was a huge waste of my time and resources, but I didn't want to be cold.
The reason I like green
I told you you were gonna like green.
is that, you know, aside from being a very well-written high school girl, is that she uses magic the way I would if I had actual magic powers in real life. That's inconveniencing me. Let me deal with it with magic. Is it a serious inconvenience? No. Do I actually need to fix it? No. Am I doing it anyway as a show that one, I can, and that two, I'm more powerful than you and don't give a fuck? Abso-fucking-lutely.
She says all of this like it's a normal thing. Because it is a normal thing for her. Her skills are just beyond my comprehension. She fixed a window. She's the greatest mage of all time. Shiro Emiya. She could qualify for the caster class at this rate. Oh man.
すごいぞ、遠坂。俺はそんなことできないからな。直してくれて感謝してる。
できないってそんなことないでしょ。ガラスの扱いなんて初歩の初歩だもの。たった数分前に割れたガラスの修復なんてどこの学派でも入門試験みたいなものでしょ。
そうなのか。俺は親父にしか教わったことがないから、
I only know
そういう
what my
基
old
本
man
と
taught
か
me,
手
which
法と
was
か知らない。
basically nothing.
Which was literally nothing. Kiritsugu told him about magic, but he didn't teach him shit. That's why Shiro, like, rams a flaming hot rod into his spine every time he tries to do magic, because he tried to figure it out himself. Osaka stops abruptly. Ah, crap. Sounds like I said something I shouldn't have.
ちょっと待って。じゃあ何？エミヤ君は自分の工房の管理もできない半人前ってこと？
I have a shed.
We've been siblings for too long, you know.
いや、工房なんて持ってないぞ、俺。
Well, actually, I have the shed I use for training, but I think calling that a workshop would just make Tosaka angrier.
まさかとは思うけど確認しとく。もしかしてあなた5大要素の扱いとかパスの作り方も知らない？
I don't know what either of those things you just said mean. I just nod. How the fuck did you get my saber? Whoa, that's terrifying. Beautiful as she is, she gets intense when she goes quiet.
何？ じゃああなた素人？
I would say I'm less than an
一
amateur.
応強化の魔術ぐらいは使える。
強化って
It turns
ま
this
たなんと
poster
も
into
半
a
端なの
fight.
使うのね。で、それ以外は空っ
Rin's
知ったわけ
immediate response to this is strengthening. It's kind of useless. It's basically just for party tricks. Don't you have anything else? No. Osaka just stares at me.
まあ端的に言えば
I can X-ray air conditioning units with my mind? Her stare is so intense, I can't help but be vague in my answer.
はあ、なんだってこんなやつにセイバーが呼び出されるのよ。まったく。
Yeah, how the fuck did you get my saber? She sighs, disappointed. I don't much care for that. It's not like I've been playing around here. Sure, I'm not a full-fledged mage, but that's not the issue here.
まあいいわ。もう決まったことに不平をこぼしても始まらない。そんなことより今は借りを返さないと。
Realistically, she does not need to do this thing, but she doesn't want him to know that she previously saved his life for some reason. Osaka takes a breath.
それじゃあ話を始めるけど、
Oh, time to get out the exposition pointer finger.
エミヤくん、自分がどんな立場にあるのか分かってないでしょ。
Not a thing. I nod.
やっぱり。まあ一目で分かったけど、一応確認しとかないとね。知ってる相手に説明するなんて心の贅肉だし。
Strengthening. God, what a useless skill to have. Given how strengthening magecraft is the only reason Shiro didn't die twice tonight, not super sure on that one, Reen. That was a really weird way to put that, but I feel like if I get smart with her, she'll smack me.
率直に言うと、エミヤくんはマスターに選ばれたの。
Okay, people keep using that word and not
どちら
telling
か
me
の
what it
手に成
means.
功があるでしょ。手の甲とか腕とか、個人差はあるけど、3つの霊樹が刻まれているはず。それがマスターとしての証よ。
手の甲って、あ、これか。
そう。それはサーバントを律する呪文でもあるから大切にね。霊樹って言うんだけど、それがある限りはサーバントを従えていられるわ。
Yes, prepare to see the Rin exposition pose quite a lot.
霊樹は絶対命令権なの。サーバントには自由意志があるって気づいていると思うけど、それをねじ曲げて絶対に言いつけを守らせる呪文がその刻印。発動に呪文は必要なくて、あなたが霊樹を使用するって思えば発動するから。ただし1回使うたびに1つずつ減っていくから、使うのなら2回だけにとどめなさい。
Better
で、
to
その霊樹がなくな
lose a
った
stroke
ら
than
エミ
have
ヤ
a
君は
stroke.
殺されるだろうから、せいぜい注意して。
To be clear, you do not die the moment you run out of commands. It's not like they're tied to your life force. So when you lose the last one, you just drop dead.
No, but what she's implying here is that he's so fucking clueless that as soon as he lacks the ability to make his servant do what he needs her to do, that he's gonna get himself killed by sheer dumb.
No, the bigger problem is, there's a history in the Grail Wars that, I mean, Reen would be aware of, but Shiro wouldn't, of masters running out of command spells and then their servant just turning around and killing them.
Chat seems to do a really good job of moderating chat.
Does seem to be the case, yeah.
俺が殺される？
そうよ。マスタ
いやー
ーが他のマスターを倒すのが聖杯戦争の基本だから。そうして他の6人を倒したマスターには 望みを叶える聖杯が与えられるの。
に
Oh, hold on a second. I don't understand what the hell Tosaka is talking about. She's talking about the Holy Grail, Shiro. Masters defeating Masters? And then they're granted the Holy Grail? And is the Holy Grail, like, the Holy Grail?
まだわからない。要するにね、あなたはあるゲームに巻き込まれたのよ。
Game seems like you're underselling it there, Reen.
Game.
聖杯戦争っていう7人のマスターの生存競争。他のマスターを一人残らず倒すまで終わらない魔術師同士の殺し合いに。
It's the murder, death, kill.
My dad died in the last one, so...
Tosaka talks about this like it's the most normal thing in the world. Everything she says swirls around in my head. I was chosen as a master. Tosaka claims to be a master. Familiars called servants. And the Holy Grail War, a battle to the death between 7 mages.
待て、なんだそれ。いきなり何言ってんだお前。
Shiro,
気持ち
listen.
はわかるけど、私は事実を口にするだけよ。
You've been contracted into participating in this generation's murder, death, kill. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, you haven't been drafted into this generation's fuck, marry, kill.
No, this is the murder, death, kill,
それにあな
not
た
the
だって
fuck, marry, kill.
心の底では理解してるんじゃない？一度ならず二度までもサーバントに殺されかけて、自分はもう逃げられない立場なんだって。
And the same servant both times. True, that Lancer guy did nearly kill me. Twice.
あ、違うわね。
No, he nearly killed him once. He killed him once as well.
よく
Nearly
使えた
kill
わね。
and kill are two different things.
Also, Rin, you weren't almost killed, you were killed. Good job coming back from that, by the way. People die when they're killed. You haven't been drafted into this generation's Mary Kill. Not in this timeline he hasn't, but in the original timeline he definitely was. Yeah, true story. Kosaka's comment is a final nail in the coffin. She's absolutely right. That guy killed me. I died. There was no chance for me to talk him out of it, nor convince him otherwise, and I was only there to die. Though you were there to, like, clean up the archery dojo. That's why. Me backing out of this incomprehensible deathmatch doesn't mean the others will do the same.
Ah,
that's sinking in there, buddy. Let's make it worse.
ただ何十年に一度7人のマスターが選ばれ、マスターにはそれぞれサーバントが与えられるってことだけは確かよ。私もマスターに選ばれた一人だから、サーバントと契約したし、あなただってセーバーと契約した。サーバントは聖杯戦争を勝ち残るために聖杯が与えた使い魔と考えなさい。で、マスターである私たちは自分のサーバントと協力して他のマスターを始末していくわけね。
Osaka explains things matter-of-factly, but it feels totally unreal to me. But one thing she mentioned raises a question.
ちょっと待ってくれ。遠坂はセイバーを使い魔だって言うけど、俺にはそうは思えない。
Technically, she said they're like a familiar.
だって使い魔っていうのは猫とか鳥だろ。そりゃ人の幽霊を扱うやつもいるって言うけど、 セイバーはちゃんと体がある。それにとても使い魔なんかに見えない。
I glance over at Saber. She's been quiet the whole time. Saber looks completely human to me. I don't know who she is, but she looks to be a girl about the same age as me. Oh, you sweet summer
使い
child.
魔ね。まあサーバントはその分類ではあるけど、位置づけは段違いよ。何しろそこにいる彼女はね、使い魔としては最強とされるゴーストライナーなんだから。
ゴーストライナー。じゃあやっぱり幽霊ってことか。
No, she's a ghost liner. The spirit of a human, someone who died long ago. The residual thoughts of a person of exceptional ability who remains in this world even after their death. But that doesn't make sense. Ghosts don't possess a physical body. Ghosts can only hurt other ghosts. So how could I, who possesses a body, be killed by a spirit?
幽霊。似たようなものだけど、そんなもんと一緒にしたらセイバーに殺されるわよ。サーバントは受肉した過去の英雄。精霊に近い人間以上の存在なんだから。
Servants are incarnated heroes of the past, right? Yeah.
はあ、受肉した過去の英雄。
I'm sorry, they're what now? It's incarnated heroes of the past.
そうよ。過去だろうが現代だろう
I
が、
feel like I'm being
とにかく
gaslit
死
by
亡
a
した伝
video
説上
game
の
and I
英雄を
don't
こう
like
引っ張ってきて
it.
ね、実体化させるのよ。まあ呼び出すまでがマスターの役割で、後の実体化は聖杯がしてくれるんだけどね。魂を形にするなんてのは一介の魔術師には不可能だもの。ここは強力なアーティファクトの力におんぶしてもらうってわけ。
ちょっと待て、過去の英雄って、
I look at Saber. Hello, I'm still here. She's a hero of the past too? Well, sure, nobody in the modern era would dress like her, but still. Have you never been to a convention?
そんな魔術
It's
聞い
all
たことが
Ren
ない。
Fair, dude.
Cosplay.
当然よ。これは魔術じゃないもの。あくまで聖杯による現象と考えなさい。そうでなければ魂を再現して固定化するなんてできるはずがない。
魂の再現って。じゃあサーバントは幽霊とは違うのか。
違うわ。人間であれ動物であれ機械であれ、偉大な功績を残すと輪廻の輪から外されて一段階上に昇華するって話聞いたことない？
Basically, Alaya just kind of grabs them and goes, Throne of Heroes, you.
英霊っていうのはそういう連中よ。要するに崇め立て祀られて疑似的な神様になった者たちなんでしょうね。高霊術とか口寄せとか、そういう一般的な霊を扱う魔術は彼らの力の一部を借り受けて奇跡を起こすでしょ。けどこのサーバントっていうのは英霊本体を直接連れてきて使い魔にする。だから基本的には霊体としてそばにいるけど、必要とあらば実体化させて戦わせられるってわけ。
霊体と実体を使い分けられるってことか。遠坂のサーバントは姿が見えないけど、 今は霊体ってことか。
いえ、あいつはうちの召喚人で傷を癒している最中よ。
No, I sent him home to go fix
Like
his
his wounds.
bleeding arm.
さっきセイバーにやられたでしょ。あれだってあと少し強制撤去が遅かったら一撃で消滅してたわ。いい？サーバントを倒せるのは同じ霊体であるサーバントだけ。そりゃ相手が実体化していればこっちの攻撃も当たるからうまくすれば倒せるかもしれないけど、サーバントはみんな怪物じみてるでしょ。だから怪物の相手は怪物に任せて、マスターは後方支援をするっていうのがセオリーね。
Red, don't try to 1v1 servants, Shiro. Tosaka's explanation ticks me off. I don't know what the other servants are like, but calling servants monsters doesn't feel like a fair description of Saber.
とにかくマスターになった人間は召喚したサーバントを使って他のマスターを倒さなければならない。そのあたりは理解できた？
言葉の上でなら。けど納得なんて言ってないぞ。そもそもそんな悪趣味なことを誰が何のために始めたんだ。
それは私が知るべきことでもないし答えてあげることでもない。そのあたりはいずれちゃんと聖杯戦争を監督しているやつに聞きなさい。私が教えてあげられるのはね、あなたはもう戦うしかなくて、サーバントは強力な使い魔だからうまく使えってことだけよ。
As Tosaka says that, she turns to Saber.
さて、エミヤ君から話を聞いた限りじゃ、あなたは不完全な状態みたいね、セイバー。マスターとしての心得がない魔術師見習いに呼び出されたんだから。
Ah yes, we need to make one thing very clear.
あなたの言う通り、私は万全ではありません。
For all the shit that Saber is gonna pull off this game, she's nerfed heavily by being
白に
summoned
は
by a
私を実体
scrub.
化させる魔力がないため、霊体に戻ることも魔力の回復
So
も
where's
難
the
しいで
path
しょ。
where Rin actually gets Artoria?
What makes you think that exists?
Well, if you're saying that in this for everything that happens in this game, in this route, that she's nerfed because she's summoned by someone incompetent. Theoretically, there's a version of the route where she's summoned by someone who isn't.
No, Reen never manages to summon Artoria. Reen's destiny is always to screw up at the last moment. Her family's cursed. Yeah. It's quote definitely impossible for any human to kill a servant.
驚いた
Yeah.
わ。そこまでひどかったこともだけど、あなたが正直に話してくれるなんて思わなかった。どうやって弱みを聞き出そうかなって程度だったのに。
My weakness is that loser over there.
敵に弱点を見抜かれるのは不本意ですが、あなたの目は欺けそうにない。こちらの手札を隠しても意味はないでしょう。それならばあなたに知ってもらうことで、シローにより深く現状を理解してもらった方がいい。正解。風格も十分と。もうますます惜しい。私がセイバーのマスターだったらこんな戦い勝ったも同然だったのに。
Hero, give me Baber.
遠坂。それ、俺がふさわしくないってことか。
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I think that's technically what both of them are saying.
当然でしょ、ヘッポコ。
Freaking sham. Oh, anyone with a heart might have softened that blow.
何？まだなんか質問があるの？
But she doesn't realize how hurtful her words are. My image of her as the perfect honor student in school slowly crumbles. Issei sure was right about her. She's fiendishly relentless.
さて、話がまとまったところでそろそろ行きましょうか。
Tosaka announces this curtly. But it's kind of weird.
行くってどこへ
It's like 1:30 in the morning. Where the fuck do you think we're gonna go?
だからあなたが巻き込まれたこのゲーム、聖杯戦争をよく知っているやつに会いに行くの。エミヤ君、聖杯戦争の理由について知りたいんでしょ？
それは当然だ。けどそれってどこだよ。もうこんな時間なんだし、あんまり遠いのは。
Don't worry, we're just going to America.
大丈夫。隣町だから急げば夜明けまでには帰ってこれるわ。それに明日は日曜なんだから別に夜更かししてもいいじゃない。
いや、そういう問題じゃなくて。
So much has happened today, and I'm utterly exhausted. I just want to rest and organize my thoughts.
何？行かないの？
Trust me, Shiro,
No, Amy
trying to
can say
organize
that
your
I
thoughts
do.
about
Say that.
fucking Grail War is just gonna give you a goddamn headache.
For some reason, Tosaka's asking for Saber's opinion.
ちょっと待て、セイバーは関係ないだろう。あんまり無理強いするな。
もうマスターとしての自覚はあるんだ。私がセイバーと話すのは嫌？
そんなことあるか。ただ、遠坂の言うのが本当なら、セイバーは昔の英雄なんだろ。なら、こんな現代に呼び出されて、右も左もわからないはずだ。
Oh, that's cute. He doesn't know about ground knowledge.
だから、
シロ、それは違う。サーバントは人間の世であるのなら、あらゆる時代に適応します。ですからこの時代のこともよく知っている。
知ってるって本当に？
もちろん。この時代に呼び出されたのも一度ではありませんから。
Oh, is it done?
嘘。どんな確率をそ
Even
れ？
Win's like, wait, what? Oh, hey, Tosaka's surprised too. That must mean that what Saber said is at least somewhat unusual.
シロ、私は彼女に賛成です。あなたはマスターとして知識がなさすぎる。あなたと契約したサーバントとして、シロには強くなってもらわなければ困ります。
Saber silently stares at me. The look on her face tells me that she's saying this for my sake, not for her own safety.
わかった。行けばいいんだろ。行けば。で、それってどこなんだ、遠坂。ちゃんと帰ってこれる場所なんだろうな。
Nope, sorry, one-way trip.
もちろん。行き先は隣町の琴峰教会。そこがこの戦いを監督してるエセ神父の居所よ。
Yorokobe! Time to go see Kirei. Tosaka flashes a mischievous grin. It's the look of someone who's enjoying teasing me since I have no clue what the hell is going on. At least that's what I think. I'm starting to believe Tosaka has a really nasty side. Church time, let's go! Wait, is this when we walk through town at night? It's 1 in the morning, and there's nobody out at this hour, except for the 3 of us. The houses are dark, and the sleepy town is cast only in the streetlight's pale glow.
まあ、遠坂。つかのことを聞くけど、歩いて隣町まで行く気なのか？
Oh my god. So, this scene contains probably the best single image of Saber in the entire game, and I'm still waiting for it to be put into Grand Order as a costume.
Let me guess. She shifts her armor to casual attire.
Wait for it.
そうよ。だって電車もバスも終わってるでしょ。いいんじゃない？たまには夜の散歩っていうのも。
そうか。一応聞くけど、隣町までどのくらいかかるか知ってるか？
歩いてだと1時間ぐらいかしらね。まあ、遅くなったら帰りはタクシーでも拾えばい
I'd
い
just
で
rather
しょ。
not spend the money.
Yeah.
そんな余分な金は使わないし、俺が言いたいのは、女の子が夜で歩くのはどうかってことだ。最近物騒なのは知ってるだろ？もしものことがあったら
Shiro,
責任持てないぞ。
you have
安心しな
a
さい。
heroic
相手がど
spirit
んなや
from
つだろう
history
とちょっ
with
かいなん
you.
て出してこないわ。
Also, Tosaka's actually a capable mage.
Also
そこにいる
that.
セイバーはとんでもなくお強いんだから。
Oh, right, Saber. Now that she mentions it, if anyone picks a fight with Saber, they're dead for sure.
リン、
There it is!
シロは今何を言いたかったのでしょう。
Why?
私には理解できなかったのですが。
Because she's wearing very obvious armor. And so, in order to not make her stand out, they put her in a bright yellow fucking raincoat.
She looks like a banana.
It's great! I love it. I love it so much. Raincoat Saber is the best.
Why is my brother such a simp?
Now you don't understand, Raincoat Saber is actually the best.
You're right, I don't get it.
Neither did I the first time, it's fine, it grows on you.
She looks like a banana.
To be fair, or to be clear, Artoria fucking loathes this outfit. It's the best.
いや、大した勘違いっぷりっていうか、大間抜けっていうか。なんでも、私たちが痴漢に襲われたら、エミヤくんが助けてくれるんだって。
Yeah, I also was very much against this the first time I saw it.
そ
And
んな
then it grew on me over
シロは
time.
私のマスターだ。それでは立場が逆ではないですか。そういうの考えてないんじゃない？魔術師とかサーバントとかどうでもいいって感じ。
Well, there's
あいつ
probably
の
a
頭の
serious
中、一度見
percentage
て
of
みたくなったわ
the
ね。
fan base that ship Green and Saber.
The game shits Serene and Saber.
I was about to say the look on your face when I said that suggests you would ship Green and Saber.
What you need to understand about Fate Stay Night is every route is Green's route. Green is shipped with everybody. Except Shinji. That's not true. Some people ship Green and Shinji, but they shouldn't. Tosaka and Saber seem to be on good enough terms to chat now. Saber's been quiet ever since I stopped her from leaving the house as she was.
I'm very mad at the raincoat.
The raincoat is great.
Raincoat is awful. And part of that's my prejudice towards the color yellow, but that doesn't need to exist.
She flatly refused to take off her armor, so I made her wear a raincoat, and she's been quiet ever since. Now she's just following me and only speaks to Tosaka.
あれ？どっちに行くのよ、エミヤくん。そっち、道が違うんじゃない？
橋に出ればいいんだろ？ならこっちのが近道だ。
I feel a little awkward walking right beside her, so I walk a little faster and took the side path. We enter a park alongside the riverside. Yeah.
Didn't you have a raincoat, Willow? Yes, I did. It was pink and gray and reversible.
And yellow.
No. Fuck the color yellow. It doesn't need to exist.
All we need to do is cross the bridge to reach Shinto.
へえ、こんな道あったんだ。そっか。橋には公園からでも行けるんだから、公園を目指せばいいのね。
No, I'm sorry, chat. Yellow is my least favorite color, and there are a few reasons for it. One, like really bright yellow. Like seeing really, really bright yellow tends to trigger my headaches, and prolonged exposure to really bright yellow can make my headaches evolve into migraines. So I have literally a biological reason to want to avoid the color, but also I genuinely think part of it's a deep-seated hatred for the color that stems from little itty-bitty Willow doing tap dancing lessons and having to do a recital in a bee costume that I was forced to do. Although I will admit, the photos of me in the outfit are adorable as all hell. But I distinctly remember hating everything about that outfit.
Maybe it's the park at night. Tosaka, as she stands there staring up at the bridge, looks prettier than when I see her at school. Oh, this isn't good.
いいから行くぞ。別に遊びに来たわけじゃないんだから。
I remind Tosaka to hurry and start climbing the stairs as if they were a ladder. Once we reach the road at the side of the bridge, it's just a straight shot to Shinto. There's nobody on the bridge. Not surprising, since the bridge isn't exactly busy even during the day. People tend to take the bus or train to get to the next town, so the pedestrian bridge doesn't see much use.
Damn it, you saw before I had the chance to delete the comment. Do not.
It's a pretty good distance, and the bridge itself seems a little unsteady, so people might worry it could collapse at any time.
I'm serious, Inu, do not. I will burn it. It will be kindling for my next bonfire.
Not if I make sure it's made out of asbestos.
Yeah, well, then I'll just gift it to someone I hate, and that takes care of that.
Probably why this isn't a very popular spot for dates, even though the location and ambiance are perfect.
バカらしい。何考えてんだ俺。
Saber follows silently while Reen walks beside me. I hurry across the bridge as fast as I can and try not to think too much about the two girls with me.
Besides, if I know my brother, he's had my Christmas present for like at least 3 months now.
Well, yeah, it's a large yellow raincoat with a copy of Mein Kampf in the pocket.
No.
Once we cross the bridge, Tosaka leads us to the suburbs. The office buildings near the station only come to mind when I think of Shinto, but there's still a traditional townscape on the outskirts.
You can pull the raincoat and a trash bag to throw it away with. So the gift wouldn't be the raincoat, but the satisfaction of deleting it from your present.
And the trash bag would also be bright yellow. The suburbs are especially prominent in that sense.
No, Bio, that would be the way you'd handle gifting me a raincoat. How Inu would do it is he'd give it to me, but he'd also punch a hole in it so that he could literally handcuff it to my wrist, so I'd be stuck with the stupid yellow raincoat forever.
And the handcuffs would also be yellow.
Like... And he'd take about 30,000 pictures of me holding the yellow raincoat and then post them all over my Oh god, it'd be the horse thief thing all over again. I never told you about that, did I?
Oh, that thing when you stole a horse?
No, so my previous office mate, I think chat will appreciate this story. My previous office mate before she left, was trying to figure out how to troll me and to try and like shift and warp my school building's perception of me as a professional. Basically, she wanted to leave behind the gift of the kids giving me shit about something for the rest of my time in this building. So what she did while I was out the one day was she took a picture of me from like from a agency thing that we'd been at a couple weeks back and put it on a wanted poster and printed in full color and posted around the school $10,000 wanted posters saying I was wanted for horse thievery.
I mean, I gave you a wanted poster one time.
Yes, you did. So genuinely, she put them up all over the building. So literally, even though I've since taken down all of them that aren't located in my office, because every now and then I do actually get a laugh from them, teachers and students still jokingly accuse me of horse thievery. So yeah, apparently I'm a horse thief. Anyway, that's the...
As I understand, you're also fictionally written literature about Kiwis.
No, we are not talking about the Reddit username. I cannot change. No.
Good old famous Reddit user Kiwi_novel. There are gentle slopes and a hill that overlooks the ocean. In the suburbs.
Bios is also, to be clear, if I were to give any sort of suggestion to Eno for some kind of gift he could get you, it would be completely different than a raincoat.
The further up the hill you go, the fewer buildings there are, and there's even a foreigner's cemetery built along the hillside.
この上が教会よ。エミヤ君も一度ぐらいは行ったことがあるんじゃない？
いや、ない。あそこが孤児院だったってことぐらいは知ってるけど。
そう。なら今日が初めてか。じゃあ少し気を引き締めた方がいいわ。あそこの神父は一筋縄じゃいかないから。
I look up and see a shadow that must be a building on top of the hill. A church atop a hill. I never imagined a circumstance like this is what would bring me to God's house. Hi, God!
すごいな、これ。
Steady and unchanging, even. The church is magnificent.
Get out of my head.
No. You're welcome.
You are the worst.
The whole hilltop seems to be church grounds, and I'm greeted by a huge open space the moment I reach the top of the hill.
Seriously, you honestly only have one piece of competition for most effective at screwing with my head. And the only reason you still have first place is you have decades of edge on him.
Oh, I've edged him for decades. That's true. Wait, no, that's not. Wait, that's
a mental image I did not need.
The church at the other side of the vast open space isn't all that big, but it seems to loom over everything, intimidating any visitors.
That is what he said, yes. And again, I'd rather not think about that.
シロ、私はここに残ります。
Yeah, I'll be much less conspicuous out here.
What? Someone in there you don't want to see? Saber, is that it?
She's got a problem with God after that whole Mordred situation.
なんでだよ。ここまで来たのに、セイ
What
バーだけ
part?
置いてけぼりなんてできな
Oh,
いだろ。
Saber can take care of herself. Do you not understand?
Yeah, but she's
私は
currently
教会
being
に来たのでは
hampered
ない
by an unnecessary
シロを守
raincoat.
るためについてきたのです。シロの目的地が教会であるのなら、これ以上遠くには行かないでしょう。ですから、ここで帰りを待つことにします。
Saber is frank in her response. No, she's not frank. Frank is a different person. I can't see her budging at this point, so I decide to respect her decision.
わかった。それじゃあ行ってくる。
はい。誰であろうと気を許さないように、マスター。
The chapel is large and majestic.
It doesn't look that large to me, honestly.
Or that majestic, for that matter. It must see many visitors during the day, based on the number of pews in the chapel.
No. That's not really how churches work.
Well, the more pews you put in, the more people show up. It's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come.
No. No, it's not.
Like, if you just made a mega church with like 1 million pews, you'd have so many people in there every day.
Nope. And in fact, daily mass is very sparsely attended even at churches with high membership.
The priest must have incredible authority if he's responsible for a church as grand as this one.
Also false.
どうさか。
He is a
ここの
priest
神
man,
父さん
and
ってい
you
うの
will
は
respect
ど
his
んな人なん
authority.
だ。
No thanks.
What kind of man is the priest here? Catholic.
どんな人かって説明するのは難しいわね。10年来の知人だけど、私だって未だにあいつの性格はつかめないもの。
By the look, it's Garrick Mock Chapel.
It sure is Garrick Mock Chapel. True story.
10年来の知人？それはまた随分と年季が入った関係だな。もしかして親戚か何かか。
Not as such, but, you know, kind of.
親戚じゃないけど、私の後見人よ。ついでに言うと、兄弟子にして第二の師っていうところ。
兄弟子って魔術師としての兄弟子？
そうだけど、なんで驚くのよ、そこで。
だって神父さんなんだろ？神父さんが魔術なんてそんなのご法度じゃないか。
Would priests be forbidden from using mage? Who the hell told you that? Mages and churches have never mixed well. According to who?
Well, Catholicism and the Protestants and witch burning.
Mages belong to a large organization called the Mages Association. That's true. That's some can. That's not strictly true for all mages. You're not part of the Mages Association, but there's also a hidden group operating in the shadow of the most widespread religion. Not one normal people would ever hear about or want to get involved with, known as the Holy Church. The two have nothing in common. They may have a sort of surface alliance, but they're constantly trying to kill each other given half a chance.
So the Grail War is just an excuse for the two sects to kill each other in sanctioned fighting. Got it.
The church loathes heretics. They're out to eliminate anything inhuman in the world, including users of magecraft. In the church's eyes, only saints are permitted to perform miracles. All other human miracles are heresy.
Well, how do you get more saints if there aren't other people allowed to perform miracles?
You don't, that's the point.
But then how do we get
You don't, that's the point.
But I love that there's a patron saint of Wi-Fi now.
Yeah, but...
Thank you, Pope!
But the fact that he performed miracles when he wasn't a saint is heresy. There are no exceptions, even for those within the church.
Oh my god, I need to start praying to the patron saint of the internet and Wi-Fi every time the light goes red. I'm gonna have to look his name back up again.
The higher the position one is within the church, the more they are forbidden from the impurity of magecraft. Altar boys, it's only slightly illegal. But the Pope, he will literally be shot if he's seen using magecraft. It goes without saying that the more blessings someone receives from God, especially someone who's in charge of a church like this, the further the distance they should take from magecraft. According to Shiro Emiya.
Oh my god, my brain is already so focused on the fact that Valguard comes out on Thursday that I was literally making a comparison to the Chantry and the Circle of Magi in my brain.
いや、そもそもここの神父さんってこっち側の人だったのか。
ええ、聖杯戦争の監督役を任されたやつだもの。バリッバリの大公社よ。まあ、最も神のご加護があるかどうかは疑問だけど。
Osaka's footsteps echo as she walks towards the altar. Like she's just assuming the Kyrie is gonna be awake at like 2 in the morning. Not sure whether you're supposed to be walking around here without a priest, but it's pretty late. The priest wouldn't be in the chapel at this hour. I guess he'd be in his private room out back.
んで、その神父さんはなんて言うんだ。さっきは琴峰とかなんとか言ってたけど。
名前は琴峰綺麗。父さんの教え子でね。もう10年以上顔を合わせてる腐れ縁よ。まあ。
Well, yes, because I'm sure you'd have preferred your father to be alive.
Of course he's awake, you know. Who else is playing the organ in the background but him?
同感だ。私も死を敬わぬ弟子など持ちたくはなかった。
Tap tap. I hear footsteps. A man slowly emerges from the far side of the altar. You must have noticed when we entered the chapel.
再三の呼び出しにも応じぬと思えば、変わった客を連れてきたな。彼が7人目というわけか、リン。
Yorokobe Shonen!
そう。一応魔術師だけど、中身は点で素人だから見てられなくって。
Because he got my saber!
Can you convince this guy to drop out and give me
確
Baber?
かマスターになったものは、ここに届けを出すのが決まりだったわよね。あんたたちが勝手に決めたルールだけど、今回は守ってあげる。
Even though I've absolutely had my servant for like 2-3 days.
それは結
I mean,
構。
she called Kirei and let him
なる
know.
ほど。ではその少年には感謝しなくてはな。
The priest slowly looks me over. I unconsciously step back. I'm not afraid. And I don't sense any hostility from this priest. But the way he carries himself, he just gives off this indescribable aura of intimidation. Oh, the Vengeance Paladin?
私はこの教会を任されている琴峰綺麗というものだが、君の名は何というのかな。7人目のマスターよ。
エミやシロ。けど、 俺はまだマスターなんてものになった覚えはないからな。
I brace myself, glaring at the priest so as not to buckle under that intimidating presence.
Emiya, Shiro.
An intimidating aura grows chilly. The priest smiles as if pleased. That smile of his. I can't explain it, but it makes me...
礼を言う、エミヤ。よくリンを連れてきてくれた。君がいなければあれは最後までここには訪れなかったろう。
The priest makes his way to the altar. Tosaka, on the other hand, just looks bored as she moves away from the altar and comes to stand next to me.
では始めよう。エミヤ・シロ。君はセイバーのマスターで間違いはないか？
それは違う。確かに俺はセイバーと契約した。けどマスターとか聖杯戦争とか、マスターっていうのがちゃんとした魔術師がなるものなら他にマスターを選び直した方がいい。
なるほど。これは重症だ。彼は本当に何も。
だから素人だって言ったじゃない。そのあたりからしつけてあげて。そういう追い込み得意でしょ、あんた。
Osaka practically pawns me off on the priest, still looking bored.
ほう。これはそういうことか。よかろう。お前が私を頼ったのはこれが初めてだ。エミやシローには感謝をしてもし足りないな。
I'm sorry, does her pseudo foster father also have a thing for her? Is he also simping Ren?
Everybody is simping Rin. The more I hear them talk, the more uneasy I get.
まず君の勘違いを。
Aesthetically, I'm not mad at the concept of him and Ren as a couple. Their aesthetics match.
いいか、エミやシロー。マスターというものは他人に譲れるものではないし、なってしまった以上やめられるものでもない。
So just to give you an idea of the way that Nasu tends to write priests, in Mahoyo, there's a priest named Father Airy, I believe his name is, who at one point admits to after a 15-year-old girl got randomly assigned to be the successor to her family's magecraft after her sister got disowned because of reasons, he admitted that he attempted to get her to run away with him to Mexico. He was a grown-ass man. She was a 15-year-old girl.
So what I'm hearing is the answer to my statement is yes.
Everyone simps Reen. It's more than Konomine loves trolling the shit out of Reen at any opportunity he's given. It's one of his very few joys in life.
その腕に令状を刻まれた者は、たとえ何者であろうとマスターを辞めることはできん。まずはその事実を受け入れ。
What if they just decide they don't want to?
Well, the rest of the masters will still kill the hell out of them in order to win the war, so...
But what if all the masters just decide none of them feel like fighting somebody else's goddamn fucking war?
Problem is, most of them are mages, and they want to get to the root. And one way to do that is by getting the Grail, so...
やめることはできないって。どうしてだよ。
霊視とは聖魂でもある。マスターとは与えられた試練だ。都合が悪いからといって放棄することはできん。
But I wanna quit because it's
その痛
inconvenient.
みからは
Well, if the issue is the command spells, why can't he just burn all 3 of his command spells on stupid shit and then walk away?
Because then he'll die immediately. Rin told him this.
お前がマスターを辞めたいというのであれば、聖杯を手に入れ、斧が望みを叶えるより他はあるまい。そうなれば、何もかもが元通りだぞ、エミヤシロ。お前の望み、そのうちに溜まった泥を全てかき出すこともできる。そうだ。初めからやり直すこととて可能
When
だ
you
ろう
say the impure mud within you, what exactly do you mean, sir?
I mean, he's a teenage boy. He's probably got some impure mud.
故に望むがいい。
I mean, what is mud impregnate smart get gumbo, right?
I mean...
「もしその時が来るのなら、君はマスターに選ばれた幸運に感謝するのだからな。 その目に見えぬやけどの跡を消したいのならば、成婚を受け入れるだ
like
けで
hour-long dinner discussion in our family. Let me just ask you this. What's the difference between dirt and mud? Because that question spawned a minimum hour-long debate at our family dinner table. Why an hour? Well, because we first had to define mud and dirt, and then we started looking at synonyms for mud and dirt to continue to prove to our mother that dirt and mud are not the same thing. Which then led to the discussion that smut is another word for dirt, and gumbo is another word for mud, and that cheesecake is another term for porn.
And then apparently, impregnate is another
Verb
for
moisten.
moisten. So if you impregnate smut, you get gumbo.
I've heard this conversation way too many damn times over the course of the years of Thursday streams. Notes I've taken. I'd rather not get into this again.
Well, at least you don't have to take notes for this one.
Yeah, and to be fair, I just gave the Spark Notes version of the more than an hour-long discussion at the dinner table. Which led to one of my favorite quotes Robert's ever pulled off of the channel Discord, which was, I wish my family argued about mud.
I feel faint. The priest's words don't make any sense. The more I listen, the more I'm confused. Yet his words permeate in my mind, staining me like blood.
キレ、回りくどい真似はしないで。私は彼にルールを説明してあげてって言ったのよ。誰も傷を開けなんて言ってない。
The god-awful fanfiction My Immortal because of how the many ways she misspelled the word blood.
You mean a Bobby?
Epony.
Enemy?
Or the time that she changed her middle name to, instead of being Ravenway, to Terraway because she was mad at Raven over his fucking sweater.
Her voice interrupts the priest's words.
父さか
My confused mind snaps back.
そうか。こういった手合いには何を言っても無駄だからな。 せめて
So
勘
is,
違いした
is
まま
Priest Man more
道徳を
Snap
拭
or
い
more
去ってやろうと
Dumbledore
思ったの
in
だが
terms of role in the plot? I can't tell if you're trying to make actual Harry Potter comparisons or if you're desperately trying to remember the plot of My Immortal.
No, there's another My Immortal character who he's closer to. I'm just trying to remember who it is.
Hagrid.
No.
Lupin.
I mean, Lupin is up there, but I don't think that's quite right either.
Vampire Potter.
Definitely not. Bloody Mary.
Interesting. By the way, for anyone that's never read or listened to someone read My Immortal, it's such a fucking trip. There's one particular YouTuber who reads it, who I will genuinely put on him reading My Immortal when I'm trying to go to bed just because his voice is so soothing. Especially as he constantly breaks down into laughing fits over the stupid shit he's reading.
情けは人のためならずとはよく言ったものだ。つい私自身も楽しんでしまったか。
I thought this kid was too dense for the Cliff Notes version of the Grail War rules, so I decided to try and break him mentally by attempting to destroy his morals from the ground up. For fun. You know, casual priest things.
何よ、彼を助けるといいことあるっていうの？あんたに。
あるとも。人を助けるということはいずれ自身を救うということだからな。と今更では本題に戻ろうか、エミヤシロ。君が巻き込まれたこの戦いは聖杯戦争と呼ばれるものだ。7人のマスターが7人のサーバントを用いて繰り広げる争奪戦という。
聞いてる。7人のマスターで殺し合うっていうふざけた話だろ。
そうだ。だが我らとて好きでこのような非道を行っているわけではない。
It's for the greater good.
No, it's for the Holy Grail.
すべては聖杯を得るにふさわしいものを選抜するための儀式だ。
Mages don't give a flying fuck about the
何し
greater
ろ
good.
物が物だからな。所有者の選定にはいくつかの試練が必要だ。
The hell with trials. I bet this priest doesn't think of the Holy Grail War as a trial at all.
待てよ。さっきから聖杯聖杯って繰り返してるけど、それって一体何なんだ？まさか本当にあの聖杯だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
The Holy Grail. A goblet said to have received the blood of a saint. It's considered to be one of the greatest sacred relics of all time, and it's said to perform a variety of miracles. One of the most widely held beliefs is that whoever holds the Holy Grail can possess the entire world.
That seems like a bit much to me.
But that seems kind of unlikely, since the Holy Grail itself probably doesn't even exist. Stories of a Holy Grail that can grant any wish appear in numerous myths and legends around the world. But that's about it. A mythical power that none claim has ever actually existed or been replicated that is... Oh, that is the Holy Grail. Big
どうなんだ、琴峰綺麗。あんたの言う聖杯は 本当に聖杯なのか？
It's a holy grail.
もちろんだとも。この町に現れる聖杯は本物だ。その証拠の一つとしてサーバントなどという法外な奇跡が起きているだろう。
It's considered to be one of the greatest sacred relics of all time, as well as a
過去の
bitch
英
and
霊を
booze
呼び
cup.
出し刺激する。いいな。すでに死者の蘇生に近いこの奇跡は魔法と言える。
Yeah, but not capital M magic, you'll notice.
Speaking of resurrecting the dead, one of us in this room has experience with that.
これだけの力を持つ聖杯ならば、持ち主に無限の力を与えよう。物の心眼など、その事実の前には無価値だ。
But what he's saying is that as long as the object possesses power that surpasses the real thing, it doesn't matter whether it's real or fake.
いいぜ。仮に聖杯があるとする。けど、ならなんだって聖杯戦争なんてものをさせるんだ。聖杯があるんなら殺し合うことなんてない。それだけすごいものならみんなで分ければいいだろう。
Chiro, have you ever heard
最
of
も
the
な意
Dragon
見だが、
Balls?
そんな自由は我々にはない。聖杯を手にする者はただ一人。それは私たちが決めたのではなく、聖杯自体が決めたことだ。7人のマスターを選ぶのも、7人のサーバントを呼び出すのも、すべては聖杯自体が行うこと。これは儀式だと言っただろう。聖杯は自らを持つにふさわしい人間を選び、彼らを競わせて、ただ一人の持ち主を選定する。それが聖杯戦争。聖杯に選ばれ、手に入れるために殺し合う恒例儀式というわけだ。
Necromantic ritual. He's so matter of fact about it all. It's like explaining this is literally his job. I have no response, so I just stare at my left hand. There's an inscription on my hand. A mark these two call a command spell. As long as I have this mark, I'm told I can't quit being a master.
納得いかないな。一人だけしか選ばれないにしたって、他のマスターを殺すしかないっていうのは気に食わない。
ちょっと待って。殺すしかないっていうのは誤解よ、エミヤ君。別にマスターを殺す必要はないんだから。
It's just that killing the master is easier than killing the servant, so typically you go for them.
だって殺し合いだって言ったじゃないか。琴峰もそう言ってたぞ。
殺し合いだ。
キレイは黙ってて。あのね、この町に伝わる聖杯っていうのは霊体なの。だから物としてあるわけじゃなくて、特別な儀式で呼び出す。
Helps if you have a catalyst for the grail, like some kind of rice cooker.
で、呼び出すことは私たち魔術師だけでもできるんだけど、これが霊体である以上、私たちには触れられない。この意味わかる？
わかる。霊体には霊体しか触れられないんだろ。ああ、だからサーバントが必要なのか。
そういうこと。ぶっちゃけた話、聖杯戦争っていうのは自分のサーバント以外のサーバントを撤去させるってことよ。だからマスターを殺さなければならないという決まりはないの。
But squishy flesh sacks are easier to kill.
Damn right. Why didn't they tell me that earlier? Honestly, Tosaka and that priest both are pretty wicked. but that's a relief. It means Tosaka won't have to die even if I do join the Holy Grail War.
なるほど、そういう考えもできるか。ではエミヤシロ、一つ尋ねるが、君は自分のサーバントを倒せると思う？
Yes, I have command spells. So technically, yes. Defeat Saber? Of course not. Besides, Magecraft is useless against her, and she's insanely strong with her probably sword.
ではもう一つ尋ねよう。つまらぬ問いだが、君は自分がサーバントより優れていると思えるか？
Well, I have command seals, so technically
In
yes.
the background, Reen's just going, "Yep, sure do."
What? Why the hell is he asking me that? I can't beat Saber, so there's no way I'm better than her. My answer to both those questions is that I'm weaker than my servant. Oh, I get it.
そういうことだ。サーバントはサーバントをもってしても破りがたい。ならばどうするか。そら、実に単純な話だろう。サーバントはマスターがいなければ存在できぬ。いかにサーバントが強力であろうと、マスターが潰されれば、そのサーバントも消滅する。
Hero should just consider himself lucky he didn't end up with an assassin. Then his only option would have been to murder people outright, since assassins tend to suck at servant-to-servant combat. Yeah. Now I get it. Nobody would make things harder for themselves. If someone wanted to make sure they won, killing the master would be the much easier path.
ああ、サーバントを消すためにはマスターを倒した方が早いってのは分かった。けどそれじゃ逆にサーバントが先にやられたらマスターはマスターでなくなるのか。聖杯に触れられるのはサーバントだけなんだろう。ならサーバントを失ったマスターには価値がない。
いや、霊樹がある限りマスターの権利は残る。マスターとはサーバントと契約できる魔術師のことだ。霊樹があるうちはいくらでもサーバントと
You can
契
just
約できる。
summon more.
No, but you can kill masters and steal theirs.
マスターを失ったサーバントはすぐに消えるわけではない。彼らは体内の魔力が尽きるまでは現世にとどまれる。そういったマスターを失ったサーバントがいれば、サーバントを失ったマスターとて再契約が可能とな
As
る。
long as they still have command spells.
So,
宣戦布
for
告ができる
instance,
というわけだ。
if Archer were to die and Shiro were to die, Reen could just have Baber.
As long as she still had command spells.
Right.
だからこそマスターはマスターを殺すのだ。下手に生かしておけば新たな障害になる可能性があるからな。
じゃあ霊樹を使い切ったら、そうすれば他のサーバントと契約できないし、
Or kill
自由
you.
になったサーバントも他のマスターとくっつくだろう。
待って、それは。
それはその通りだ。霊樹さえ使い切ってしまえばマスターの責務からは解放されるが、もっとも強力な魔術を行える霊樹を無駄に使うなどという魔術師がいるとは思えないが、いたとしたら
At this
そい
point,
つは
Reen's just
半
like
人前
low-key
どこ
hiding
ろ
her
か
hand behind her
た
back.
だのふぬけということだろう。
The priest laughs as if he can see right through me. This is starting to get to me. The priest's tone is provoking.
納得がいったか。ならばルールの説明はここまでだ。
Yea, verily, the lesson endeth.
さて、それでは初めに戻ろう、エミヤシロ。
Yes, let us return to where we began.
君はマスターになったつもりはないと言ったが、それは今でも同じなのか。マスターを放棄するというのならそれもよかろう。君が今考えた通り、レイジを使い切ってセーバーとの契約を立てばよい。その場合、聖杯戦争が終わるまで君の安全は私が保証す
You're
る。
going to do how exactly?
ちょっと待った。なんだってあんたに安全を保証されなくちゃいけないんだ。自分の身ぐらい自分で守る。
私とてお前に構うほど暇ではない。だがこれも決まりでな。私は繰り返される聖杯戦争を監督するために派遣された。故に聖杯戦争による犠牲は最小限にとどめなくてはならないのだ。
No, that's not giving. I want.
Too bad. Get your own.
I have my own, but she's at my house. I want the tiny tiger.
Too bad.
But she loves me so much.
マスターで亡くなった魔術師を保護するのは監督役として最優先事項なのだよ。
繰り返される聖杯戦争。
Hold on a minute. It repeats? Does that mean a battle like this has happened before?
それどういうことだよ。聖杯戦争っていうのは今
No,
に
it's
始
the
まったこと
fifth.
じゃないのか。
無論だ。でなければ監督役などというものが派遣されると思うか。この教会は聖遺物を回収する任を帯びる特務局の末端でな。本来は聖十字の調査回収を旨とするが、ここでは聖杯の査定の任を帯びている。極東の地に観測された第726聖杯を調査し、これが正しいものであるのなら回収し、そうでなければ否定しろとな。
726th Grail.
聖杯ってのはそんなにたくさんあるのか。
Well, you need to advance the text.
I know, I
さ
know.
あ、
I will put her in a different room if you
ら
can't
しきも
focus.
のならばそれだけの数があったということだろう。そしてその中の一つがこの町で観測される聖杯であり、聖杯戦争だ。記録では200年ほど前が一度目の戦いになっている。以後約50年周期でマスターたちの
Every
戦いは
50
繰り返さ
years
れ
or
る。
so, except for 10 years ago, and the last one was.
聖杯戦争はこれで5度目。前回が10年前であるから、今までで最短のサイクルということになるが。
正気かお前ら。こんなことを今まで4度も続けてきたって。
まったく同感だ。お前の言う通り、連中はこんなことを何度も繰り返してきたのだよ。そう。過去繰り返された聖杯戦争はことごとく苛烈を極めてきた。マスターたちは斧が欲望に突き動かされ、 魔術師としての教えを忘れ、ただ無差別に殺し合いを行った。君も知っていると思うが、魔術師にとって魔術を一般社会で使用することは第一の罪悪だ。魔術師は斧が正体を人々に知られてはならないのだからな。だが過去のマスターたちはそれを破った。魔術協会は彼らを戒めるために監督役を派遣したが、それが間に合ったのは3度目の聖杯戦争でな。その時に派遣されたのが私の父というわけだが。
Basically, the Second War was such a disaster that the church stepped in for the Third War. It was like, hey, we hear you're using the word Holy Grail. That belongs to us. So we're gonna go ahead and moderate this now.
ああ、監督役が必要な理由は分かった。
Also, Bio, I'm not trying to be quiet enough that Inu can't hear me when I'm talking to the CAT. That's just me baby talking like I do to all
けど
animals.
今の話からすると、この聖杯戦争っていうのはとんでもなくタチが悪いものなんじゃないのか。
ほう、タチが悪いとはどのあたり
だって以前のマスターたちは魔術師のルールを破るような奴らだったんだろ。なら仮に聖杯があるとして、最後まで勝ち残った奴が聖杯を私利私欲で使うような奴だったらどうする。平気で人を殺すような奴にそんなものが渡ったらまずいだろ。
Hero, it'll naturally go to someone who has no problem killing people. That's the point of the Grail War.
魔術師を監視するのが教会の仕事なら、あんたはそういう奴を罰するべきじゃないのか。
I'm not with the association, I'm with the church.
And in case you haven't noticed, the Catholic Church is kind of bloodthirsty, historically.
I'm hoping to finally confuse him with this question. Why are you trying to confuse the priest? But as I figured, Kotomine just laughs condescendingly.
Condescending explanation.
だ。まさか
He
私利
games
私欲で
ruined
動か
that
ぬ魔
word
術師な
for
どおるまい。
me.
我々が管理するのは聖杯戦争の決まりだけだ。その後のことなど知らん。どの
そんなバカな。じゃあ聖杯を手に入れたマスターが最悪な奴だったらどうするんだよ。
Presumably, it usually is.
困るな。だが私たちではどうしようもない。持ち主を選ぶのは聖杯だ。そして聖杯に選ばれたマスターを止める力など私たちにはない。何しろ望みを叶える暁だ。手に入れたものはやりたい放題だろうさ。しかしそれが嫌だというのならお前が勝ち残ればいい。他人を当てにするよりはその方が何よりも確実だろう。
But there's no rule saying you can't team up with other people for a temporary alliance to take out other masters.
Correct. Kotomine is clearly trying to suppress his laughter. It's like he's enjoying watching my awkward resistance to becoming a master.
どうした少年。今のはいいアイデアだと思うのだが参考にする気はないのかな。
そんなの余計なお世話だ。第一、俺には戦う理由がない。聖杯なんてものに興味はないし、マスターなんて言われても実感が湧かない。
ほう。では聖杯を手に入れた人間が何をするか。それによって最悪が起きたとしても興味はないのだな。
それは。
Can't argue. Damn, this guy's just so hard to deal with. He doesn't care about my feelings, and he's relentless with the information he pushes on me.
理由がないのならそれも結構。ならば10年前の出来事にもお前は関心を持たないのだな。
10年前。
そうだ。前回の聖杯戦争の最後にな。ふさわしくないマスターが聖杯に触れた。そのマスターが何を望んでいたかは知らん。我々にわかるのはその時に残された災害の爪痕だけだ。
Oh, look, you press the trauma button. As you do. For a second, the image of that hell flashes before my eyes.
待ってくれ。まさかそれは。
そうだ。この町に住む者なら誰もが知っている出来事だよ。エミやシロ。死傷者500名。焼け落ちた建物は実に134棟。未だもって原因不明とされるあの火災こそが
Of course, the church told everyone it was a gas leak, but I feel sick. My vision blurs. I lose my focus and I can't concentrate. My legs are about to buckle.
And my spine's still broken.
Before that can happen, I plant my feet. I'm hoping they'll grow into some nice begonias. I grit my teeth to maintain my composure. Raw, seething anger is the only thing holding my nausea at bay.
エミヤ君どうしたのよ。いきなり顔面真っ白にしちゃって。そりゃあんまり気持ちのいい話じゃなかったけど、ほら、なんなら少し休んだりする？
I must have really looked pale. I know it's rare for someone like Tosaka to be concerned about the likes of me.
心配無用だ。遠坂の変な顔を見たら治った。
Not a compliment, Shiro.
ちょっと、それどういう意味よ。
いや、タイはないんだ。言葉通りの意味だから気にするな。
ならいいけど、余計に悪いじゃない、このド変僕。
School's honor student, Rin Tosaka, smacks me upside the head. And just like that, my nausea and anger dissipate.
サンキュー。本当に助かったから、あんまりいじめないでくれ、遠坂。今はもう少し聞かなくちゃいけないことがある。
Something in her expression suggests she thinks she hasn't hit me enough, but she lets me continue anyway.
ほう、まだ質問があるのか。いいぞ。言いたいことは全て言ってしまえ。
I'm sure he knows exactly what I want to ask, but he urges me on anyway. Fine by me. I'm not letting him get the better of me.
じゃあ聞く。あんた、聖杯戦争は今回が5回目だって言ったな。なら
当然だろう。そう毎回全滅などという決めは起き。
じゃあ
早まるな。
In fact, there were
手に入れるだけならば簡単だ。
3 survivors from the
何しろ
fourth
聖
cell
杯
war
自体
from
は
not
こ
forgetting
の教会
someone.
で管理している。手に取るだけならば私は毎日触れているぞ。
The Holy Grail is here in the church?
もっともそれは器だけだ。中身が空なのだよ。 先ほどリンが言っただろう。聖杯とは霊体だと。この教会に保管してあるのは極めて精巧に作られた聖杯のレプリカだ。これを触媒にして本物の聖杯を降霊させ、願いを叶える杯にする。そうだな。マスターとサーバントの関係に近いか。なあ。
じゃあ聖杯は本物だったのか。いや、手にしたっていうそいつは一体どうなったんだ。
どうにもならん。その聖杯は完成には至らなかった。バカな男がつまらぬ干渉に流された結果だよ。
I don't know what happened to this overbearing attitude from a moment before, but Bree suddenly looks, of all things, regretful.
どういうことだ。聖杯は現れたんじゃないのか。
聖杯を表すだけならば簡単だ。7人のサーバントが揃い、時間が経てば聖杯は現れる。リンの言う通り、確かに他のマスターを殺める必要などないのだ。だがそれでは聖杯は完成しない。あれは自らを得るにふさわしい持ち主を選ぶ。故に戦いを回避した男には聖杯など手に入らなかった。
What, so he just, like, avoided all the fighting, waltzed up, and went mine with the cup?
Seems like a valid strategy.
要するに他のマスターと決着をつけずに聖杯を手に入れても無意味ってことでしょ。前回一番初めに聖杯を手に入れたマスターはアマちゃんだったのよ。敵のマスターとは戦いたくないなんて言って聖杯から逃げたんだから。
Osaka almost spits the words, then goes back to averting her eyes from Kotomine.
嘘。
Does that mean Kotomine was one of the masters from the previous war, and even though he obtained the Grail, he dropped out because he refused to fight?
ことみね。あんた戦わなかったのか。
途中まで戦いはした。だが判断を間違えた。結果として私は空の聖杯を手にしただけ
So
だ。
yeah, Kirei was one of the survivors from the Fourth Grail War.
もっとも私ではそれが限界だったろう。何しろ他のマスターたちはどいつもこいつも化け物揃いだったからな。私は真っ先にサーバントを失い、そのまま父に保護されたよ。
That makes two participants in the last war we know of.
監督役の息子がマスターに選ばれる。
Kotomine and Rin's
その
dad.
時点であってはならぬことだった。
Presumably Emiya's stepdad, because he was at the location of the battle and successfully managed to save at least a couple people and was a mage.
You mean his foster dad?
Foster dad, yeah, his actual dad super died in the park.
We don't even know if he had a stepdad.
"父はその折に亡くなった。以後、私は監督役を引き継ぎ、この教会で聖杯を守っている。
Kotomine turns his back to me as he speaks. There's reverence in his voice, and I see the devotion in his eyes before he turns.
話はここまでだ。聖杯を手にする資格がある者は、サーバントを従えたマスターのみ。君たち7人が最後の一人となった時、聖杯はおのずと勝者のもとに現れよう。その戦い、聖杯戦争に参加するかの意思をここで決めよう。
Priest looks straight down at me, demanding my final decision. I'm at a loss for words. Earlier, I had no reason to fight. Now I have a reason and the will to fight. But can I truly say as much?
まだ迷っているのか。いいか。マスターというものはなろうとしてなれるものではない。そこにいるリンは長く魔術師として修練してきたが、決定されていたものがあるとすれば、それは心構えができていたかいないかだけだろう。
You chose to not prepare yourself to be a master.
マスターに選ばれるのは魔術師だけだ。魔術師ならばとうに覚悟などできていよう。それがないというのならば仕方があるまい。お前もお前を育てた師も出来損ないだ。そんな魔術師に戦われても迷惑だからな。今ここ
He doesn't need to ask anything else. I hit a save point. Alright, cool. Choice point. So, yeah, that button. Save. Down to the one below there, because that's not a thing. Great. Good save. And then this one actually makes a difference because we want to hit all the bad endings.
I assume the bad ending is destroy the seal.
Yeah. I can't go along with this. A gruesome battle to the death is wrong.
どうした？戦うか戦わないのか。ここで明言しろ、エミヤシロ。
Yeah, he doesn't need to ask anymore.
戦わない。マスターの権利とやらをここで捨てる。
I look right into the priest's eyes as I answer. Oh, look how sad Reen looks.
そうか。残念ではあるが、マスター本人の意思では仕方がない。エミヤシロはマスターである権利を放棄し、聖杯戦争から離脱した。
Why would the priest ask Tosaka and not me?
構わないわ。それがエミヤ君の選択なら、私がどうこう言えることじゃないでしょう。
その罪悪感だけでも収穫だったとするか。では早速取り掛かろう。エミヤシロ。左腕を出したまえ。
いいけど、何をする気だよ、あんた。
なに、すぐに終わる。お前の左腕に宿った霊樹を消去するだけだ。マスターをマスターたらしめている要因は2つある。一つはサーバントとの契約であり、一つは腕に宿った霊樹だ。この2つを失えば、お前は聖杯戦争から解放される。
The priest takes my left arm.
痛むぞ。できるだけ力を抜け。
His fingers plunge into my arm. 5 fingers dig mercilessly inside my arm. My entire body jerks from the pain. I hear the sound of tearing flesh. This was not my mind playing tricks. Even if it was some sort of illusion, I can feel my arm being torn apart. My arm is unscathed, though. But somehow the priest's fingers are digging and tearing into my arm. It's as if his fingers became intangible and moved through my flesh.
完了だ。手術は無事終了した。
I look at my left arm. There's not a single wound, yet I feel a bruising pain throbbing along the whole arm. In exchange for that unpleasant feeling, the inscription on my hand changed shape.
形が変わってる。いや、数が減ってる。
ええ、霊樹の数は3つ。綺麗はそのうち2つをあなたから摘出したのよ。体を傷つけずに幹部を取り除く霊媒師みたいにね。
霊媒師。
If I remember correctly, there's specialized mages who can treat someone by repairing the spiritual body. And I hear they perform magecraft that uses a type of curse by removing tumors without cutting the patient up. Like magic.
You mean magic users use things like magic?
驚いたな。霊媒治療ってのは未開の地で使われる技法だろう。教会の人間が身につけていいものじゃない。
そういうな。何らかの魔術を得得している時点で神父としては失格なのだ。ならばどのような魔術を好もうと神父失格であることは変わるが、魔術の起戦など気にするな。今のは私の唯一の取り柄でな。いろいろと魔術を習ったが、私の魔術特性は良くも悪くも傷を開くことに特化している。おかげで他の魔術の腕はそこの弟子にさえ遅れを取る始末だよ。
In comparison to Rin, I'm shit at every other form of magecraft.
Yeah, but he's really good at opening wounds.
良くも悪くもっていいに決まってるじゃない。綺麗ほどの霊媒師は教会にも少ないし、教会の秘跡使いだってあなたほど霊体を作れる人はごく一部なんだから。
さてな、いかに優れた治療法といえ、霊媒は肉体に依存する接触治療に過ぎない。肉体に依存しない存在証明である魂そのものに触れられる奇跡にはほど遠いが、ともかく霊樹の摘出は完了した。
Well, thank you for taking away our
後の
command
始末は
spells.
君の役割だ、エミヤシロ。最後に残った霊樹を用い、サーバントとの契約を断つがいい。
サーバントとの契約を断つ。
Basically, you just have to tell the hot blonde foreigner you don't want
外で
her.
待ってるセーバーの前で契約破棄を申し出るの。けどきっとセーバーは契約破棄なんて認めてくれない。それを力ずくで執行するために霊樹を一つだけ残したのよ、綺麗は。
そういうことだ。霊樹を使い切り、かつサーバントとの契約を絶って、自分が無害であることを他のマスターに提示する。それで君は晴れて自由の身だ。正常なマスターならば無力化したマスターを襲おうとは考えまい。君は偶然手に入れた力を手放すことで素晴らしい平穏を取
You
り
know, the
戻
one
せ
in
る
which
とい
you
う。
died this morning. Last night. Last night.
Last night. Unilaterally dissolving my contract with Saber. I'm basically betraying her.
You've known her for like an hour and a half, and most of that's been spent walking, dude.
Even if it was by chance, I summoned her and she protected me. Did I make a mistake? I can't agree to let myself be a part of something where masters try to kill each other. I don't agree, but what if I can't turn a blind eye to it either?
何をしている？霊樹の発動に呪文はいらん。霊樹に意識を乗せてサーバントに命令すればいいだけだ。セイバーに直接言いつけるか、ここで一方的に契約を断つか、好きな方を選べ。
No. My mind is made up. I can't turn back now, and the priest probably wouldn't let me.
It would be funny if you changed your mind right now and you are suddenly down to only one command spell, though.
セイバーと話をつけてくる。それで俺はマスターじゃなくなるんだな。
セイバーに直接ってヘミヤ君、それは。
I don't think I'd recommend doing that.
ああ、保証しよう。オノがサーバントに別れを告げてくるがいい。その後、君を保護対象として教会に迎え入れよう。
I'm not sure how serious he is, but the priest says he'll welcome me. I have no intention of being under his care, though. All I'm gonna do is forfeit my claim as a master. I absolutely refuse to receive any help from him after that.
それもお断りだ。あんたの世話にはならない。セイバーと話をつけて、霊女、それで終わりだ。あんたとは二度と会わない。
そうか。なるほど。それはそうだろうな。確かに私たちは二度とは会わない。さようなら、エミヤシロ。自ら選んだ道だ。胸を張って進みたまえ。
He doesn't need to tell me that. I turn and leave the church. I step outside the church. She's there, waiting in the stone-paved square beneath the clear sky.
話は済みましたか、マスター。
ああ。聖杯戦争がどんなものか確かめてきた。その上で決めたんだ、セイバー。俺はマスターを降りる。
Saber's expression doesn't change. Those green eyes regard me knowingly, as if my decision was the most natural thing in the world.
それは私との契約を取りやめるということですか。
そうだ。俺にはマスターは務まらない。それにセイバーだって俺みたいな半人前よりまっとうなマスターと契約した方がいいだろう。
はい。戦闘面での充実を図るのならあなた以外の魔術師と契約するべきでしょう。アーチャー。
そうか。ならここで契約を切ってもいいな。レイジは契約解除に使うから、それでセイバーは自由だ。
シロ、一度だけ聞きます。マスターを降りるという意思は変わりませんか。
変わらない。俺は殺し合いをする気はない。
I say that as I look straight at her. At that moment, Saber's raincoat sways. I stare, dumbfounded, directly into death itself. In the brief moment I blink, Saber has closed the distance between us. She sweeps my legs from beneath me. I slam hard into the ground. pain spikes through my legs after a brief delay. There's no blood. My legs are still intact. It's a relief that I still have legs. Thankfully, she only struck my legs with a metal rod. My bones are cracked and my leg hurts like it's been shattered into 1,000 pieces, but it's better than having both my legs cut off.
シロ、マスターで亡くなった魔術師はそのサーバントに殺される。いかに未熟だろうと、私を呼び寄せたあなたには私をこの世に留める力がある。サーバントにはマスターが必要だ。あなたが契約を断つのなら、私はあなたを殺してその体をもらい受ける。
Well, you're not gonna get many magic circuits that way, girl.
それでもあなたはマスターを降りると。
I try to ignore the pain and focus all my concentration into looking up at Saber. I sense no hostility or murderous intent from her. As natural as breathing, Saber will kill me without remorse or regret, simply to remain in the world. Even so,
そうだ。仮に今から考えを改めたところで、俺にはできない。霊樹が残り一つだからじゃない。俺は戦いを拒絶した。一度でもマスターであることを否定したんだ。そんな奴をマスターにしたところで、待っているのは敗北だけだ。
I was defeated. If I refuse to fight once, so I'll certainly do the same a second time.
I feel like there shouldn't be an if at the beginning of that sentence.
Yeah, I know. Every time I find myself in that position, I'll regret fighting. Me being a master would put not only me, but also Saber in jeopardy.
では、ここで私に殺されても構わないのですね。私は霊体にはなれない。あなたの魂を取り込めない以上、あなたは肉体の痛みを持って死を迎える。
まさか戦うのはごめんだが、殺されるのはもっとごめんだ。ダメだ、弟。最後まで抵抗して逃げ切ってやる。
I psych myself up and glare back at Saber, refusing to let her overwhelm me. And then,
そういえば、
いいでしょう。霊樹を使いなさい、シロ。あなたの決断だ。私が口を挟む権利はない。気にすることはありません。私は今回のマスターとも信頼を築けなかっただけだ。あなたが霊樹で契約を立てば、私は自由になる。この体を保てるのは2時間程度でしょうが、その間に新しいマスターを見つけるだけです。
Saber lays this all out matter-of-factly. Inspired by her resolve, I concentrate my thoughts on the command spell on my left hand to break my contract with Saber.
これであなたは自由だ。わずかな間の共闘でしたが、あなたの再び会うことはないでしょうが、無事この戦いを切り抜けられるよう祈りましょう。
The silver armor moves away. I realize that I have the urge to call out to her, but I smother it before I embarrass myself. I have no right to call out to her. She didn't blame me for arbitrarily severing our contract and was concerned for my safety until the very end. And since I've pushed her hand away and stepped down from the Holy Grail War, I'm in no position to call to her. So, two choices. Either we see this through to the end of the dead end in the Tiger Dojo, or, because we are technically at time, we save up here and finish the dead end next time.
Since I am walking home, we save up here.
Alright, so next time we finish the first dead end, get our first Tiger Dojo, and then loop back to the choice that doesn't result in our untimely death, and carry on from there. There is a second dead end before the end of this day, though, so, you know.
Well, that's not surprising. Lots of ways to screw up in the beginning of a war you didn't know you were getting into.
Yeah. I want to say there's like 40 dead ends total throughout the entire visual novel. So they'll start coming before too long, right? Pretty sure it was 40. Yeah, I thought so. But that is a situation for next time. So, until then.
I'll catch you later.